All right, guys, welcome to the Unfiltered Podcast for the nighttime edition. We have four lovely ladies with us today. It's going to be an amazing show. Let's get it.
I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal, most vicious, and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lance is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever.
Yo, how are y'all doing on this beautiful Friday night? Tonight we're joined with four beautiful and lovely guests. Before we get into the show, though, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified every time we go live. Join the Discord, guys. Join the Discord. You can drop us topic suggestions and videos to react to. Also, if you didn't know, 50K subscribers on YouTube by June 10th. We'll be choosing 10 people from the Discord to come on a cruise with us. It's going to be the Virgin Cruise. It's going to be me, Anwar, Josh Felton, and Eric. The Virgin Cruise is no kids, so a lot of girls trips. You know, fellas, we're gonna get lit. You know how that shit goes.
All right, guys, real quick before we get started, man. Anwar, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors, real quick. Go ahead, bro.
Shout out to our sponsor, Vacay. They make CBD, CHG, and THC products. We got gummies on the table, THC, Delta 8 vapes as well. They're legal in all 50 states. Chat, let us know if you want any recommendations. We'll be happy to answer that for you, and we'll be happy to send you some samples as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, cool. And shout out to our other sponsor real quick, bro. Go ahead.
And shout out to our other sponsor, Ask Dr. Kish. He's a certified family medical physician, and he's here to answer all your questions. He's offering a 50% off discount for the viewers of the podcast, so check out his links in the bio.
Yeah, but Kish did recently cure me. I was coughing up fucking blood. He cured me, called him up. I don't even have to go to him.
It was weird.
Called me up, fixed me. I'm straight now. I finally got my voice back completely too. So I hope y'all enjoyed it.
Yeah, guys, and make sure you don't just go randomly kissing girls in Miami, man, because that's how he got sick. All right,
That's cap.
all right, cool. Real quick, man. Shout out to Dom. He just started the Clips channel. Description is gonna the link's gonna be in the description. Make sure you go check that out. Also, guys, for everybody who's asking about the merch, make sure you DM me personally, and I'll make sure to take your order. 50K subscriber party, that's gonna be by June 10th. So let's make sure we get there. And yeah, let's get started with the nighttime show. We'll let the ladies introduce themselves. We'll start off with her, make our way around this way.
Yep. Can I get your age, name, what you do for a living?
Oh, that okay.
She started laughing already.
She don't want to say her age.
Yeah, that was.
Oh, it was the age?
No, I'm good. I'm Janae, 27. I have a skincare company called She's Royal Beauty.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
What about you? Go ahead.
My name is Julia. I'm 26 and I study international business and I'm a model.
Cool. Shout out to you.
Thank you.
And what about you? Go ahead.
Hi, my name
Make
is
sure you speak into the mic.
Yeah, we can
Hi,
bring
my
it
name is
closer to you.
Faith. I'm 24 years old and I have a couple of different jobs, but I work in corporate aviation. I also am a model and I am studying to become a psychologist.
Nice.
Just pull the mic a little closer to
Yeah.
you.
Shout out to you. All right. What about you?
My name is Aya. I'm 27. I'm from Kazakhstan. I work in a hedge fund. And I want to do a shout out to my friend Will for his dope music. Link in my bio.
Nice. Okay. And you
How old did you say we're?
27.
And you're from where?
Kazakhstan.
All right. Do
Kazakhstan.
Very nice.
you want to
Yeah.
tell people where that is?
Very
Yeah,
nice.
I don't know
It
either.
borders with Russia and China.
Very
Many
nice.
People, yeah, many people don't know where it is.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick, ladies in the middle, can you put your hair behind your headphones?
Yeah. Real quick, just
No,
so
like lift up your headphones and tuck in your hair.
so you're gonna
behind
tuck in your hair
headphones.
behind
like-
your.
Put
So
shit
where is
behind.
Kazakhstan? Like next to Russia? Where?
It borders with
Isn't
Russia
it
and
like
China.
yeah?
Yeah.
It's quite big.
But at what like? Where? It's
What-
where like what is?
Central Asia, let's put it that way.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's hard to find on purpose.
Yeah, because I tried explaining, but I
Okay.
didn't know.
Real quick, chat. If you guys have any questions for the lady, make sure you guys go ahead and send them now. We'll go ahead and send it to us. If you guys have any super chats. Also, shout out to the chat, man. We actually found out who Kebab was
Yeah.
from last night. So shout out to the chat for that.
Is he coming through? Is he coming through?
So he did hit me up and he said he wanted to come through to the show himself, and he also wanted to do a call in today. So that was very exciting. That was actually kind
Oh,
of
so he's
funny.
gonna do the call in today.
Yeah, hopefully he comes through and he does a call in. But yeah, that last night's show was amazing. It was really fun. But there was just a lot going on, and the chat was super lit last night.
Yeah, there was a lot of entitled girl. Well, one entitled rich girl on there.
Yeah. So, okay, ladies, real quick, we're gonna start out with the first question. Okay. Wait, do we have any super chats real quick?
Nope.
Or any questions real quick?
Nope.
No. Okay, cool. So, ladies, real quick, what does it take for a guy to date you? Like, is it you can just name 2 things. It doesn't have to be too much. So, name 2 things that a guy has to have to date you. And we'll start off with you know what? We started with you, so we'll start off with her now. So 2 things that a guy has to have. It's mandatory, non-negotiable. He has to have these 2 things to date you.
Social status and ambition.
Social status and ambition.
Kept it a buck though.
Yeah.
We kept it a buck. I like that.
For me, I'm gonna say first of all, he has to be working on himself. I'm very big on like mental health and like stuff like that, and I'm not dealing with any like toxic childish stuff again. Aside from that, he has to have something going for himself and not something illegal. I'm not
So no drug dealers, but they got the bread.
I don't care. So do I.
I got to
So no drug
I'm
dealers.
not holding nothing down. I'm sorry.
All right. So what were the 2 things from you? He has to have something going for himself, ambition,
And be like mature, like
Mature.
working on himself.
Okay, got it. What about you, Julia? 2 things.
For me, he has to be loyal and trustworthy.
Okay.
The main 2 things.
Lord.
He
Alright.
doesn't need to have anything. Like he doesn't need to be rich, but just not the trash picker.
Mm.
But
Okay.
anything else.
No. Okay.
But what happens if he's a rich trash picker?
Yeah, but I don't want trash. Yeah, I don't care if
want
he's
status.
rich or
You-
if he's not
okay.
rich.
So he has
No
to have
trash.
status.
Yes,
he
maybe.
can have status though doing that job too.
Yeah, he could
Yeah,
be the
but-
best trash picker in the world.
No, but you asked me last time. I don't want any best trash pickers.
Okay. All right. So no one that picks up trash.
No.
Okay. What
Por
about you?
favor.
What about you? 2 things that that a guy has to have to date you.
Principles and financial stability.
Okay. So principles like morals.
Yeah.
Okay. And financial stability.
Mhm.
Okay. Cool. Now I want to do the opposite. 2 things that you think that a guy wants from you, right? 2 things only. So we'll start off with you. Go ahead.
For me,
Yeah.
So what do you think are the 2 things that guys want in order to, find you dateable?
I would want a guy to want
Speak
this
into
for
my-
me.
just point it
I
up
would
a
want
little
a
bit.
guy.
You can pull up the
to-
mic closer to you. Yeah.
Yeah, and point it up a little bit in the air. Yeah.
So what are the 2 things
There you go.
again?
Something that I would want a guy to want from me.
Oh, like
or-
generally, like if I was looking to date you, what do you think would be the 2 things that I would want you to have in order for me to take you seriously?
I can't really talk for the other person, but I would hope.
Have you
that
dated
they would-
before?
Yeah, but I can't talk for like to see what they would
So
want.
what do you think are the 2 main things that guys want
Oh,
from a girl?
I think every guy is different, but
In general.
Come on.
every guy is different.
Come on.
Some guys want like somebody
Just-
that's gonna
just
take
name
care
2
of the
things.
home. Other guys want somebody
Okay.
that's gonna motivate them. Like
Okay.
it's just every guy.
Okay.
is
Those are 2 good
different.
ones.
So
Okay.
motivation and make sure the house is a home.
Okay. What about you?
Okay.
2 things.
From my experience, he wants me to be home 24/7, and he wants that I'm loyal and he can cheat. And he can go everywhere, and I'm just sleeping home.
Why'd you add the extra
24/7.
part? Why'd you add the
We
extra
asked for
part?
2.
We
Yo,
asked for
Because
2.
That's the main
It's a need.
reason why.
It's needed
We
in the
asked for 2.
sentence.
Okay.
Yo, Julia's still low key hurt, bro.
Yeah,
That's-
she's
No,
hurt.
I'm not hurt. Don't tell me
that's
I'm
a little
hurt.
You're
reason.
hurt.
That's
I'm
still a
not
little
hurt.
Yes, you are.
reason. That's still a little
You're
reason.
hurt because every time you come on here, you talk about the same thing.
No,
Yeah,
but
you-
I'm
you
just
dissing-
talking
you
about
dissing
my
me.
experience. I'm not talking about any guy.
Okay.
Just experience.
You've
You
only had
ask
one
me-
boyfriend.
You ask me, and I tell you.
You've only had one boyfriend. Okay. What about you? 2 things that you think a guy wants in order to find you dateable.
I would say I've been told by a lot of guys that the thing that they like about me the most is how polite I am, and what's the second usually? If it's not something like physical, then it'll be like the way that I treat them. Like I'm very sweet when I'm like
Okay, so you guys
Somebody
are you
romantically.
guys like basically what you saying is feminine and submissive.
feminine, submissive. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. Those are actually 2 really good
yeah,
ones.
that's really good.
All right. What about you? 2 things.
Well, I personally think for me it would be accommodate him to be the best version of himself, and the second one, to make his life fun too.
Okay. So fun. Okay. Cool. You want to tell them what 2 things you think a girl should have in order for you to find them?
Can I say 3 things?
Yeah. Go ahead. Say 3 things.
Respect, loyalty, and suck my dick.
Respect, loyalty, and suck my dick.
Yeah,
Alright.
I mean that's literally that's what I pick. What would you pick?
So for me, don't embarrass me.
Okay,
That's
so
the worst
respect,
thing. That's the worst thing you
Okay.
could do is embarrass a guy,
I agree.
and have really, really good sex. That's probably about the only two things that most guys really want.
So I hit you on the head.
Do you not agree with that?
No, but I said every guy wants something different.
Okay, but typically,
You
right?
won't-
Generally, don't you think that most guys want?
You won't find a guy that doesn't want respect, and you won't find a guy that doesn't want good sex.
It-
Is
Just
that a
like
fact,
every
or you
girl
got
wants
to?
everything something different. Every guy wants
Are you-
something
No,
different.
Do you
not true.
believe men and women are the same? Like you,
No,
like we,
Absolutely
like
not.
Absolutely not.
like it doesn't take much to please men.
Yeah.
If
You
we're being
understand?
honest,
We're all like the
It
same
It depends
simple
on the
creatures.
kind of man, the caliber of men you're
Thank
talking about. There are men
you.
that are sexually disciplined, and so they're not just looking for a girl that can fuck them good, because that same girl will stress you the fuck out and cost you everything. So
Yeah.
not
But I don't-
necessarily.
Not
just
Not
looking for that.
necessarily.
No.
You can have a girl that's gonna fuck you good and isn't necessarily gonna stress you out.
Have you dated a lot in Miami?
I just moved to Miami 6 months ago, but
Oh yeah, I'm gonna give you some time. You're gonna
Mm-mm.
change
no,
your
no,
mind.
but just in general, you can have both.
I think so
You
too.
can.
I think
It's
it's
a
given.
but not everybody's priority is sex.
Yeah. I think
For guys, yeah.
But again, generally,
No.
and by the way, if you hear a voice
They're
that sounds
lying
like
to you.
Jesus, it's Anwar. He's a producer. Okay, he's
Okay.
talking to you, and I'm like, okay, cool. Let's get to some of these chats, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we got a bunch of super chats. Logic's or Repo Daddy said, in your opinion, what makes a woman and a man high value?
Okay, good question. Let's
So
start
two
off
questions.
there. Let's start off with you. Go ahead.
First go man, then go woman. Or yeah,
What makes them?
woman.
I feel like their brain, how they think. Again, back to
This is for
principle.
women or a man?
Oh, woman or man?
So no, it's both. So like, what makes a high value man first, and then you say high value women.
I think both is what they bring to the table.
You think it's
With
the
a
same?
man, it's financial stability, like I said. What they bring to the table.
But you just said it's both what they bring to the table. Do you think men care about what women bring to the table financially?
Not financially, but they have to bring something to the table.
Okay, but I don't think most men care about what a woman
Yeah, I
brings.
don't
Right?
think they care about financial, but they have to bring something to the table. Like, is if it's keeping the house clean when they come home, it's
Mhm.
stress free,
Okay.
making their life easier. Like I said, motivating them, pushing them to be the best them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Is always what somebody brings to the
Is it,
table.
wouldn't you say that those are the things that like you should naturally want to do anyways?
Yeah,
So men typically want what you're supposed to be doing anyways.
but not every person has that natural ability. Not every woman.
I
wants
agree
to
with that.
push their
I
man.
will agree with that not every woman has the
Yeah.
ability to do it. Some women don't even know how to cook,
True.
right? But what I say is that men generally are very simple creatures.
Mhm.
Correct?
I think men are very simple, honestly.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. What about you? What makes a high value man and what makes a high value woman?
I think for both, like if you always tell,
Can you
like
please not do that?
speak the truth, like if you're true to yourself and you always say like that you don't need to lie about everything and your life is easy, so it makes it high value.
Okay.
What? Why?
What
Tell
about
me.
you?
I think.
Remember, we're gonna give everyone a chance to speak. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
What makes men and women high value? I would say number one, discipline. And what's the next one?
This should be easy for you, ladies.
Like, what do you?
Sometimes
What,
men and
It was
women.
no, no, no.
Like,
But like, no, I'm
podcast.
saying
Oh,
you're supposed to.
separately?
Yes, separately.
Yes.
So what's a
Okay.
high value
So what's-
man, and then what's a high value woman?
Hmm.
And you should know what a high value man is.
For
off jump.
women, I will say both.
I heard
definitely
you ladies
discipline.
talking in the car, so you
Yeah,
guys
we
know
were
what
talking a lot.
I heard. I know you guys
Talking.
know. I know what you guys. I know you know what a high value
Yeah.
man is.
I would say for both, definitely discipline, but for women as well, having something going for you aside from just what you're getting from the man that you're dating, for sure. And for a man, it pretty much always falls under discipline for me. But aside from discipline, I'll say knowing how to carry himself, because some men, I think they're just a little bit unhinged. to
What
say the
is what
least.
is discipline?
Discipline? Like, it could be financial discipline, sexual discipline. That's a big one, especially for men. I feel like a lot of them lack
It's basically learning how to control
control your
yourself, right?
mouth, control your anger. Like,
Ah,
it's a
yeah,
lot.
yeah.
Sexual discipline.
It could be
That's
discipline
what
in
I'm
many
struggling
different
with.
ways. Yeah. So how about this? What if you find a respectful, disciplined, broke guy? He's gonna be broke for the rest of his life. Would you date him?
That's
You
not
want me to be very honest
discipline.
with
Be
you?
honest. Yeah.
As
This-
soon as I know that he's broke, I'm not gonna really care to find out the rest of that stuff about him. But
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate
Thank
that.
you
not
for
even
being
like
real.
he has to be
Yeah.
the richest, because honestly, I don't care about that. Anybody that knows me can tell you, like, I don't look for guys because of what they have. But
Yeah. But it's
I
a
have
plus,
enough
right?
going for myself where I'm not going to settle for somebody that can't do for me what I can do.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
me,
exactly. So
if not
hypergamy.
more.
But how can he be disciplined and broke?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, some guys
should've
can.
said that.
Here's the thing. I'll say this, and that's a good question.
Mhm.
So, like for instance, I was undisciplined and broke just 3 years ago.
Mhm.
Like, so it sometimes it takes men a while to actually like get there. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But that's why I asked her. I was like, well, what if you find one that is, and it just takes them a while? Like,
Mhm.
some guys start
you said
businesses and
broke for the
fail.
rest of their
I know,
life.
but what I'm saying is, like, for instance, I started a business back in Maryland and it failed.
Mhm.
You know, I could have started another one down here, could have failed. You never know. So that was just a hypothetical question. What about you? Two things that actually, you know what makes a high value man and a high value woman?
For the man, I think it's the network
Mhm.
and his integrity across all the things he does in his life, like the business, family, friends, his everyday life.
Okay.
And for the woman, I think what she can actually contribute to the common growth as a couple
Okay.
and
Oh,
the care
shit.
she can give.
Wow.
Damn, that was
Fire,
very
That
yeah.
was more
Fire answers over
Yeah,
here.
I like that.
And do you think that has anything to do with the fact that your culture is a little bit more traditional?
Probably, but my personal experience speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Too.
I mean, shout out to you. Those are good answers. Okay, cool. Any other ones, bro? Go ahead.
Yeah, Repo said, shout out to the team, all love.
Shout out to
Yo,
you.
shout
Rico.
out to you, buddy.
Much love to you, homie. Any other ones? Go ahead.
Yeah, David Jones, he said, ladies, what are you willing to give up to be with a monogamous man? Most monogamous men make less than 80K a year. Are you willing to accept that?
Okay, good question. Let's go ahead and start off with you. Go ahead.
Honestly, no.
Thanks for keeping it honest. All right. What about you?
I'm gonna be very honest. I disagree with the last part of that because I have dated some men that definitely made under 80K a year, and they were the worst people I've ever dated. Like, men, when they don't have their stuff together, they're very mean. They will do whatever they want.
Yeah.
They're unhinged. They're not good people. So I don't agree with that
Hurt people
statement.
hurt
But if
people.
it is possible, I don't think that would be a bad idea. Honestly, I think that we could help each other get to higher levels in life. And if you're monogamous, like really. Yeah, that's like a rare gem. I'll definitely keep him.
Would you give up your Instagram if you found?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Would you
there
girl?
we go.
You'd give up all
That
your
was
social
quick.
media?
That was quick.
Okay.
I'll give him my passwords. if
What
you
about
want.
your
Real.
male friends? You giving up your male friends?
Yeah,
Okay. Wow. Good
I
answers.
hardly even have any.
Okay. What about you? What are you
What
giving
is
up?
monogamous?
Being able to be with one woman like entirely.
No cheating.
Yeah, basically,
Oh, that's
basically
my
forcing a
dream.
guy to go against his natural state.
Forcing. That's not forcing.
Okay.
I would give up anything.
You'd give up anything?
Yes.
You'd give up your Instagram?
Yes.
No, you wouldn't.
You
What do
wouldn't.
you
No, you
mean?
wouldn't.
No, maybe not the
Yeah,
Instagram. but
yeah,
if
there
he
you go.
was-
Yeah,
Julie,
maybe
yeah,
No,
not
no,
but
you
if
wouldn't
he
give your
was
Instagram
really
up.
monogamous, so then, of course,
Yeah.
anything.
You'd give up your friends?
Yes.
Yeah. You stop seeing your mom?
No.
All right. What about you? What would you be willing to give up?
If I have to give up something for you to do that, mm-mm.
Wait,
Romance.
She's
whoa,
Jamaican.
whoa,
Let's keep
whoa,
that in
whoa.
That's a very
consideration
wrong
here.
answer, though. Are you single right now?
By choice.
By choice.
That's what they always say. By choice.
Every woman comes out here and says it's by
Come on.
No, it's
choice.
always by choice.
It is by choice.
Do
It's
you-
by choice
um,
always.
You don't.
Go ahead. You got something to say?
It's by choice,
You
but the
know-
options are bomb.
Yeah. exactly. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, Anwar. That's the same thing I was about to say. And you don't choose relationships anyway, so it's not by choice. You choose who has sex. Men choose who get
Good
relationships.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And here's another thing, right? Most men that are high value, and by high value, I don't necessarily mean money. I mean like status, right? Or it could be principles, like you said earlier. They're gonna want you to make some sacrifices for
Yeah,
them.
for sure.
Those guys aren't just gonna, the song by The Weeknd, take you as you are, whatever the fuck. Nah, they're not gonna take you like that. They're gonna want you to kind of like conform to their lifestyle.
Facts.
And it's just the way it is.
Yeah,
I don't
but
feel like
for
you're
me
that
to
type of
say,
woman.
I'm gonna do this for you to do that. It just don't.
It may not be like that. It may just be him saying, hey, you know what? I don't like you posting this, or I might not like this friend of yours. It may be little stuff, and sometimes it starts out real subtle, and then it gradually gets a little bit.
I'll sacrifice for a relationship. But I'm not sacrificing something so that you don't cheat on me.
Okay, yeah, I
You know what I'm
understand that.
saying?
Yeah. Okay, that's a whole. We can get into that. That's pretty deep. But
That's a
here's
can
the
of
thing.
worms.
But yeah, I'm not gonna answer. I'm not gonna open that jar. Let's get to some other super chats, bro. Go ahead.
Out of supers, we got regular ones.
Let's get some regular questions and go ahead.
All right, let's do it. Let's see. Miyazaki Lee, the pervert, has a question. What
ahead.
is the shortest amount of time you're allowed a new man to enter you without protection?
Good question, actually.
He's Japanese, so his English is kind of
Okay, yeah. So some of our viewers are from outside the country. What about you? What is the shortest time that they've allowed?
Or yeah, no condom.
Okay. No condom. What's the shortest amount of time that you've made a man wait?
Honestly, it's when I chose him to do that, you know, and I chose it pretty quick.
What's
Pretty
pretty
quick?
quick? Give me a time limit, like a week,
It
a
was a
month.
one night stand, so
Oh, okay. Well, shit.
Whoa,
Okay.
they do that?
Shit, that was quick.
Yeah. But no judgment. But
yeah.
I mean, but yeah, I wouldn't because of the culture. I wouldn't have expected that answer from you. What about you?
I'm gonna try to make this answer short,
Sure.
but basically knew the person for years.
Uh-oh.
Dated for a few months, but long distance before the first time we actually did it. And then the first time, like I thought about it in my head, I was like, damn, like I haven't done it in a minute since I left my ex, so I should probably like mention that. But I was like, fuck it, I trust him. So low key, that was like
When I
3 months,
stand.
but that was definitely not. I still never mind.
You still have sex with him, is what you were about to say.
Oh,
Hey,
no,
can
not
you
yet.
make sure you're not hitting the table? It's picking up.
Yeah,
on the mic.
sorry.
she's dealing with anxiety over there.
Yeah, ADHD.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, no, not a one night stand.
So how short are we talking?
Pardon?
Just give me a timeline. How short?
I'd say we were talking officially for about 3 or 4 months before he came back, and then
And that was your
it
shortest
like
ever?
this lit.
Was that the
Yeah.
first time
Okay.
y'all had sex though?
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah.
What about you? What was the shortest amount of time that you made a guy wait before you had sex?
I don't even remember anymore, but it was a long time.
It was a long time.
Yeah,
Okay.
maybe like 5-6 months.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
Okay. What about you?
Maybe that's why he was fucking other girl.
What?
What about you? What was
Maybe
the
that's
shortest time?
why. What the
It's
hell? He
that-
wasn't cheating me then at the beginning.
Is that have sex
Maybe
with somebody
that's-
or without a condom?
Just in general.
Oh,
Just
just have
sex.
sex?
Yeah. What's the
Um,
shortest amount of time? Please be honest.
I'm gonna be honest.
Okay. This should be easy for you, ladies. Come on.
month, probably.
A month? Okay. What about you? What was the shortest time?
You're trying to be funny, bro. He's trying to be funny.
What was the shortest time?
Come on, bro. Come on, stop trying to be funny.
2 hours.
I'm
1
I've
hour.
never fucked with a
20
condom.
minutes.
I've never fucked with a condom.
Okay.
Hold on, wait. The conversation was condom or no condom?
Yeah, he's from Atlanta.
Oh, that
you
explains
gotta
it.
What
forgive
the
him.
fuck?
You gotta forgive him.
Whoa,
He's from
whoa.
Atlanta. He's from Atlanta, and there's a reason why the HIV rate over there is fucking ridiculous.
I've never had shit.
I'm not saying you have that.
I
I'm
never
just
had
saying
shit.
there's a reason why. And now that you came down here, Miami all of a sudden overtook Atlanta. So just a crazy coincidence. Okay, for me, the shortest time, shit.
A day.
A
day?
Nah, it was.
A week.
It was. You ever heard that song "In the Club"? In the club. Yeah, it was like.
in the club.
Oh, you were doing it in the club.
It was
Gave
like
you like that?
20-30 minutes, to be honest. It was.
Jeez.
It was a crazy night.
Fucking
That was a
Like
long time ago.
that?
Though. That was a long time ago. All right,
But
cool.
protected, right?
Side eye.
Protected, right?
Yeah, it
Nah.
was. It was protected by Norton antivirus. Yeah. Again, that was a long time ago. All right,
Shit.
cool.
I
Any
ain't
other
never
ones,
fucked
bro?
no
Go ahead.
club girl.
Let's see. We got another one. David Jones. He said, "Guys, what was your first time hooking up with a woman whose kitty cat was so good that you couldn't last longer than 5 minutes?"
5 minutes.
That is actually a really good question.
How quick or like
When was the first time hooking up?
my age?
No, bro, come on, bro. Yo, I want to read it one more time. God damn it, bro. Go ahead, bro.
Guys, what was the first time hooking up with a woman whose kitty cat was so good that you couldn't last longer than 5 minutes? I guess it's your age.
Yeah, like that's my age, right?
Yeah, it's age.
I mean, I guess just I would
Or
say
like-
time in your life. I don't
Yeah, like-
necessarily mean age, because like, or at least just give us how long ago that was. For me, it's never happened.
You haven't busted under 5?
Not under 5.
Oh, you're capping.
Really?
Really?
Bro,
I get
my first time having sex, I was fucking. We're not gonna go there because it was basically grape. But she was 18. I was way younger than her.
Yeah, yo, the first time I had sex, I couldn't I was too young to actually,
I look. I'm
Yeah,
just gonna say. So I was 12 and she was 18. So like, yeah,
I'm
Oh,
like
so
shit.
sorry to hear that.
yeah.
use up.
No, I wasn't up,
Yes,
but
sir.
I know what
No.
you're saying. But yeah, no, I was. It was definitely a weird experience, and ever since then, like I've never really had that like you know how the first time when you have sex with someone is supposed to be like very special. Like I never had that, so it was never like that for me.
Yeah.
What about you, Anwar?
The first time I had sex.
Oh, okay,
shit.
cool. That makes sense. But you're
Nah.
Muslim, so
Are you Muslim?
What the
Yes,
fuck
he
does
is.
that mean?
Really?
yeah.
What does
I
that
didn't
mean?
Well, because like
know.
they're kind of like
My
they're-
ex was Muslim.
yeah, they're very grounded. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
So is
Yeah.
mine. No, they're not.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
Well, the
grounded.
good ones, the good ones are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Anwar is.
Like he prays 10 times a day.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah.
I
good.
respect that.
Yeah,
He'd be
he's
like,
he's
No.
good.
he'd be like Allah Akbar and all that.
Does
shit.
he
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
pray?
Do all that and then do a bunch of stuff that's very against Islam, but we're not gonna go there.
I mean,
Yeah.
whoa,
No,
those are
but
the extremists, though. Those are extremists.
Anwar
No,
is
those
a
are
good
the
Muslim.
reverts. Those are the did it because it became hip to be
God
Okay.
Muslim.
Y'all remember that story I said? Like I had to hurry up and nut because the girl was ugly. It was that time. That was like the time I could remember.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
recent though.
That was no, the fuck it wasn't.
All right, cool. Any other chats, bro? Go ahead.
We got no more supers. We got regular
No more
ones.
supers. All right, let's do one more super. We'll get to the next videos, bro. Let's get to the videos.
No more supers.
No, just one
No, I'm
regular.
saying just a regular, bro.
One
All right,
regular.
question for the girls. What are you looking for in a guy?
Good question. One thing you're looking for in a guy. I think we kind of did this one
Yeah.
already,
Yeah,
right?
That was
basically
the
that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like the
we
first
already
question.
did this one, man.
Give me another one, Anwar.
Miyazaki Lee. Question for the women. If a bastard child is born and the father didn't want it, who's responsible for that? The woman who brought the kid to term or the man who impregnated her?
Really good question. What do you think about that? Who's responsible for that kid?
Repeat the question.
Go ahead, bro. Read it again.
If a bastard child is born and the father didn't want it, who is responsible for that? The woman who brought the child to term or the man for impregnating her?
I think both people have to take
Speak into Mike.
I think both people have to take responsibility for the child.
All right. What do you think?
Yeah, in my opinion, both parents should take care of it. Of course, because it's both of their child.
Okay.
So why
What
not?
about you, miss? What do you think?
Unpopular opinion, but
Thank you.
I would say that the woman
He's already
is,
thinking that.
because if he did not want the child, you technically shouldn't have brought it into the world, just because number one, I think it's unfair to the child. I'm very big on getting married before you have children.
Yep.
And I wouldn't want a child to go through like knowing its father didn't want it and he's not in your life because I just decided to keep it because I wanted to keep it. But not to say that it's easy to go through like losing a child or
Yeah.
having an abortion. Like it's definitely very hard on the woman. So if he's a man, he should want to be in a child's life, but he's under no obligation since he made it clear he did not want a child.
Okay. Nice. Good answer. What about you? What do you think?
You know, it's a really hard question, but if a man doesn't want a child, and most women I see on the internet and in everyday life, they bring up children, they're being brave, and they make sure the child doesn't really miss any of their father's influence in their life.
Mhm.
So they take the double responsibility. But honestly, men should really take care of the children.
No, that's wrong.
You don't want to
Y'all are giving like politically correct
Yes.
questions
And guys,
besides
I want
their-
your real honest answers.
Did you say the man
That is my
shouldn't take
honest
care of the
answer.
child even though it's theirs?
They should.
No, because we have women that come on here and they don't want to go against women. And this is exactly why she had to preface her answer
Yeah,
saying
unpopular
very
opinion.
unpopular belief, because even by saying it, she already knows that, hey, this isn't really,
She's a pick-me.
yeah, she's a pick me. Oh my God. Like, oh my, you know what I mean? Like, and girls do that. So here's the thing. I strongly believe that me not ever meeting my father, I think that men should be responsible for their kids, right? It sucks not knowing who your father is. It sucks never meeting him. But I also think that the world is not fair for men and women. And it's like, for instance, like if a man doesn't want a kid, he's automatically labeled a deadbeat dad.
Mhm,
But if a mother has a kid and she doesn't want him, oh well, she just wasn't ready,
mhm.
right? Like, oh, well, there's always no, it's true.
I think the
Let's-
mother would still
Never
be.
thought-
Me
Yeah, the
personally, I'm
mother-
still call you a
Yes,
terrible
but-
honestly,
person.
the mother would be looked at worse.
Not necessarily,
No,
actually.
No.
Not necessarily.
Against
There's
different
there's
cultures.
oh,
Y'all aren't gonna judge her directly. You might
I
judge her
would.
indirectly. You're
If a
not gonna do it in
mother
her
turns
face.
their back on their child, that's worse than a man.
It
turning their
happens
back
all
on
the
their
time.
Yeah,
child.
but you're not gonna
I
do it
know
in the
that.
girl's face.
if there was a shame factor, it wouldn't happen as much as it does. If we're being honest.
Everybody's different.
Okay, and that's fair. That's fair for you to say. But like I said, if a woman wants to have a child and a guy is saying, okay, so when a guy and a woman when they have sex, right? That's equal. They're equally at fault there. No one, no,
Mhm.
wait, you didn't wear a condom and you didn't protect yourself. I mean, there's like, fuck, I think there's like 41 type of birth controls, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe even more. and no one can protect each other. So now you both are at fault. But if the guy says, "Hey, listen, I don't want this kid. I'm not ready for it," and the woman then says, "I want it anyways. I'm gonna keep it," I think legally they should sign a paper that says, "Hey, you know what? You decided to keep the kid. I'm not ready for it. I'm not financially responsible for this kid." Because at the end of the day, it's like, and this is why Roe versus Wade was such a big thing, because men never had an option. Men never had a choice. Women always got to choose, am I keeping it or am I getting rid of it? And then all of a sudden, when women also didn't have that choice, they went crazy, right? It's my body, my choice, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, but like that's also that man's life you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Are you still sticking to what you originally said? Can you tell me why?
One, the emotional distress that a woman goes through with abortion.
You chose to have that baby.
Yeah, but if the man chooses not to have the baby, he goes on with his life. The woman
Not necessarily financially. He's suffering for the rest
I'm
of his
saying
life.
if the woman chooses to get an abortion, the man goes on with his life.
Okay, yeah.
The woman is stuck with the trauma.
Understood.
Of having to go through an abortion. Not everybody can deal with that. I have friends that have had abortions, and to this day they have nightmares of this stuff. You know, like, you know, if they're religious, believe they're gonna go to hell,
of course,
any stuff like that. At the end of the day, you guys both chose not to wear a condom. You guys both chose not to have birth control. So you guys have to come to understanding when the person does get pregnant on what's gonna happen. If one person chooses not to, you can't get mad at the other person for not wanting to go through that type of emotional turmoil. Like, you can't.
But the same way, the guy doesn't have a choice.
Yeah,
you have a choice.
At the end of the day, the beginning aspect, you guys should have never done that.
Okay, what happened if it's the other way around? Okay, what happened if you don't want the child, but the guy wants the child?
It's
and
the same thing.
You're still gonna
no,
be like,
no. It's not the same thing.
It's the same thing. Somebody.
I want you to do me a favor.
Speak
into the mic.
Sorry. Yeah. Somebody gets hurt at the end of the day.
I love your points. They're great points, but understand what you just said. If, let's hypothetically speaking, let's say we're dating, we get right, there's a pregnancy now, right? You don't want to keep the kid, right? I'm like, hey, look, man, I want to have the kid. Please, like, don't get rid of it. Like, I'll take care of it. My family's behind me. If you say no, it's no. I can't legally force you to have that kid. It's never been fair between men and women.
But I said the woman takes the role of the emotional distress of going through an abortion, now that man is going to take a role of emotional distress because he wanted that child. He's going to go through depression. But at one point, somebody always loses.
But
but I think it's really unfair. Like, if a woman get abortion, like I was pregnant last year and I got miscarriage.
A miscarriage. Okay.
Yeah. So I think it, like, emotionally, it's really like big deal if a guy says that I don't want to have a kid and then you need to do abortion.
But that's not what we're talking about.
No, but I can tell from my experience.
But you're talking about a whole different thing.
It wasn't the easiest.
Julia, I get what you're saying, and that it sucks that you went through that, right?
Yeah.
But that's not the point that we're trying to make. The point that we're trying to make is
abortion. It still has an emotional.
Yes.
No,
you're
so hard for the whole body.
Hold on. I have a baby.
Okay.
Hormones is real.
Yeah.
Emotions are real. So for you to say that it's not the same thing.
No.
That's not what he's saying.
You're not understanding what we're saying. We're saying if you don't want the kid and have an abortion, you're still gonna go through that trauma, correct? But we want to have the kid. We don't have a choice if
you're gonna go through depression. You guys both go through some type of
what we're saying is that men don't have the choice. It doesn't matter what we want. It's never matter what men wanted. It's always about what women have wanted. So for instance, we're dating, right? You're pregnant. I'm telling you, I want this kid. You're like, yo, I'm not ready. It doesn't matter what I want. I can call the police. I can
Either
go
way,
to court.
it's unfair.
But it's unfair for the guy no matter what. It's only unfair for you until you want the kid and the dad doesn't want to be a part of the life. Like, it's always been unfair for the guy is what I'm saying.
It's unfair if the guy doesn't choose what you want.
But you
I've never heard a story of where a woman was like, oh, I didn't want the kid, but like he forced me to have it. No, like in America at least, women have the last say when it comes to that.
At the end of the day, the first responsibility.
You're not even paying attention to what I'm saying.
I do get what you're saying, but you're saying the question was who takes responsibility. And I'm saying both people take responsibility. That's the question.
And I'm saying that you're wrong.
How?
Who takes it then?
Who takes it then?
I mean,
both people had said.
Yeah.
Mothers always usually take the responsibility because they birthed the kid. The natural instinct to be a mother kicks in when you see your child. Like when you saw your child, that instinct that fucking feeling that you felt was fucking powerful, right? You're like, yo, this is my kid. I carried it for
And
9
I hope
months.
the father had the same.
Yeah,
feeling
the
too.
same for
It's
the
not the
father.
same.
It's not
What
the
it's not the same.
It's not the
And
same.
look, you can't.
What?
I wish it was. I wish it was. I wish like if Marcus or whoever you're dating was like in New York and you're in Miami and the kid was born, he was like, yo, I have a kid now. Like that natural instinct just kicked in to be a father, but it's not like that for men and women.
So you're not gonna love your child as much as your.
Of course, but I'm not the average person.
And if we want to speak honestly, my baby father emotions kicked in way before mine did.
Really?
If we want to be, yeah.
What type of emotions? Because I don't know your baby father.
The whole love at first sight,
Yeah.
that didn't happen for me. It didn't. It didn't
In
happen
regards to your
until-
baby or you?
to my baby.
Okay.
Yeah. If we want to be completely honest, just goes back to everybody's emotions is different.
So what are you saying? Like he fell in love with your baby way before?
Before me, yeah.
That's fine. That's fine. There's nothing
Yeah,
wrong
but
with
I'm
that.
saying you said that it doesn't happen. Everybody's
You're
different.
talking about
Yeah.
the you're
I
talking
know.
about the
How old is your
outlier.
baby?
Listen, hold on. Your reality is not everyone
What
else's
else is-
reality.
Exactly. That's what
Yeah.
exactly. But you're saying that.
We're
Remember,
speaking in
before the
general.
show, we said we're speaking in general. We're not
Yeah.
talking about you
No,
specifically.
of course not. But I'm saying everybody's different. Everybody has a different
Yeah,
experience.
it's hard to
So
say.
you
But
can't
again-
say that every man is like this.
I'm
No,
not
we're
saying
not
every
saying every
man.
man.
I'm
We are
saying
saying
generally,
majority.
majority
So
of men.
majority. So more than 50%.
But it's hard to
Like
say.
for
in
instance, you
general.
can sit here and say, I know a guy that would take me as I am. I fucked 50 people, but I'm gonna sit here and say, generally, most guys don't want women who have fucked 50 people.
But what if we have just experienced from this one person?
Yo,
who is
Julia,
not
you've
the
been here
general?
multiple times, and you come here always talking about your personal experiences.
No, but it's hard to know the general like.
it's very
experience
easy.
because-
Before the show, I said we're speaking in
Yeah,
generalities.
but if you don't know how the general is, like if you just
How do you
met
not
this
know what
one,
the general
That's
is?
why
if
we're
you
here.
have been with this one person who is not like same as the general.
Do you
people.
watch movies? Do you watch TV, Netflix? I mean, like,
No, not that
look,
much. I don't have
even outside,
time.
even outside. You go outside, like the real world is out there.
Yeah,
right?
but I'm not.
My thing is that women come to this show and they speak about outliers and they speak about the one like exception. Okay, that's fine. But the exception is not the rule. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but the general is not the rule either.
What?
The general is the rule. It's the general.
exception
It's-
can't make the rule.
Okay, I can kind of like see what both of you guys are, well, all of you guys are saying, because my father is one of those people that kind of falls into both calibers. So basically, like, my father was in the NFL. He has a lot of children, like 9 or 10.
Antonio Brown?
No. But he wanted some of his children, honestly, only like 2 or 3. And even that's kind of me being generous. But I know for sure he absolutely wanted me, like to the point where my mom didn't want to keep it because they weren't married yet. He was like, well, we're engaged. We're going to be married soon. We'll be married before she's born. Like, you know, I really want this child. He was like in love with having, you know, a daughter all of a sudden. And to this day, like, loves me to death. I'm the only child he has tattooed on him. But there's some of his children, he really did not want them. And like the girls kept it because, oh, he's a football player.
Right.
You know, those type of girls. And
Get
so
the bag,
he doesn't
girl.
treat, like, unfortunately, I'm not proud to say this. I think that he should be a better man because at the end of the day, you did lay with this woman unprotected. But he doesn't love those children the same because he didn't want them. Like, and it's not fair to
Understood,
the child
yeah.
because you kept it because he has money and
Agreed,
whatnot. But now
yeah.
this child doesn't know its father and they have to live with that.
Yeah. And thank you for sharing that, by the way. Thanks for being honest too. Here's the thing. You can't force a guy to want a kid.
Mhm.
You just can't. I'm saying like you can hope for the best and Disney and all that, you know what I mean? And think that it'll happen. But like if a guy doesn't want a kid, he doesn't want a kid. There's a lot of deadbeat dads out there.
But then he shouldn't have sex with anyone.
Yeah, but then you shouldn't have opened your legs to just anyone.
No,
Again,
but
it
if-
goes back
if-
to-
Where's
if
the
he wanted-
accountability for women?
No,
Hold on.
but if he wanted me to open and he did it, so then
Hold
it's
on,
his
hold on,
fault.
hold on. We say that on this show, we say that women are the key holders to sex, and that is a fact. You can disagree with that all you want. If I want to have sex with you right now, you have to give me permission. Other
Yeah.
than that, I'm going straight to jail. So you
Mhm.
decide who you sleep with, right? I decide who has a relationship.
But he needs to know that there is consequences.
Yes,
for
there is
having it.
consequences.
Yeah.
But guess what? There's consequences for you too. You
And
opened
take
your legs.
accountability.
That
There
goes
is,
back
but
to
what if I want to have the
equal
baby and he
responsibility.
doesn't?
You
That's,
guys are
it's not
cheap.
equal.
Okay. We
I
can
would
agree
want it to be
disagree.
equal.
Equally,
Because
I
we
would-
can
listen,
agree,
I never,
because what?
look, I never met my father. I want it to be equal. That's fine. That's great, but it's not gonna happen,
You're
right?
saying it's not realistic.
It's not
It is
realistic,
not.
ladies.
You both should take care of the child. You both should love it.
Someone
but
please
it's
turn
not
your phone down.
realistic.
Someone's phone is ringing, man. Turn it off.
That's not mine.
Shit, it's actually mine.
this
And my shit's on D&D.
Come on,
What the
bro.
fuck? Okay, cool. Do you guys understand what I'm saying though?
Mhm.
Like it's not realistic. Like I said, man, I would have loved for my father to have been in my life. You know, maybe that's wishful thinking. Maybe it was a blessing that he wasn't in my life. Maybe he would have beat me physically. Who knows, right?
Everything happens for a reason.
The point is that
Yes.
you know, life is not fair. And the faster you ladies start realizing that, the faster that life actually will get easier for you. Like, for instance, I don't know her that well, but goddamn, like, she seems really smart. She's like, yo, I get this. Like, I've lived through this. I've seen my father. I know what happens when a guy doesn't want a kid. So, you know, on the opposite, you'll sit here and say that, like, your boyfriend or baby father, I'm sorry, I don't know what your status is, but like, he fell in love before the baby came, and that's great. You know, I wish all fathers were like that, but realistically, let's be honest, most guys aren't going to fall in love with kids until they actually see them, if they even see them at all. There's a whole reason why, like, most guy parents aren't even on the birth certificate. Like, there's a huge percentage of that. Do me a favor, bro. Let's get some of these chats. Go ahead.
Yeah, Repo got one. He said, it's not the same thing at all. I got a woman pregnant once. I told her not to abort it, that I could take care of it in every way. Once it came out of her, she took its life regardless.
Wow.
Whoa.
Okay.
Shit.
Cool. Yeah, it's unfortunate. And like I said,
I'm
men
sorry to hear that.
yeah, I'm
Josh.
sorry to hear that, Rebo. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. Like I said, men haven't really ever had a choice. But hey, it is what it is, you know. We're not crying about it. Do me a favor, bro. Let's get to one of the videos and then we'll react to that video real quick. Shout out to the chat. We'll get to you guys in a second. Ladies, you guys with me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool,
Yes.
cool.
All right, hopefully this stays on.
All right, let's go.
What do you think guys are looking for in a woman?
Good pussy.
That's true.
Why do men want good pussy?
Never mind. I can't say that.
Guys just want a pretty girl. That's it.
Guys want a pretty girl with a
They want a good nut off.
That is true.
A good nut.
Yeah. That is so true. Facts.
Quick and good nut.
Do you think that men will put busting nuts over love?
Yes.
If they're between the ages of 20 to 30, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so a guy will cheat on a chick that he's in love with then.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
No. It depends. I disagree. It depends.
What does it depend on?
If they really like the girl they're with.
Okay, so you think that you could satisfy a man for the rest of his life, just you by yourself?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
I
What do you
bet that
mean?
kid would.
That is ridiculous.
I would consider myself almost porn star level, I think.
But I thought you said that guys would put busting nuts over love.
Right. So if I can make him bust the best nut, why would he need anybody else?
What do you think,
All
guys?
right, ladies, what do you guys think about that? Do you guys think that a woman can satisfy a man for the rest of his life? We'll start off with you.
I'm gonna go back to everybody's different.
Can we
Okay,
speak
but
in
remember,
gen-
we're speaking in general.
In general.
And speak into the mic,
Majority.
please. Please speak
Janae.
into the mic.
I'm thinking.
Okay. I feel like you're triggered, and I don't know why.
Ding.
I feel like most men do cheat, and most men are not going to be satisfied with one woman.
Okay.
Okay, cool. What about you? Do you think a woman can satisfy a man for the rest of his life?
I think she can, but then of course, as you say, that it, like most men cheat, but they like, I don't understand the whole point of cheating, as I have said before, because I think like if you love somebody, so you should just like be satisfied by that one person. Like if you don't want her to cheat, and you know how it feels, so why would you want for her to have the same feeling to
Okay,
be
cool.
cheated on?
What about you? Do you think a man can satisfy a woman for the rest of his life?
You know, it's funny. I was just having a conversation that had to do with what my answer is going to be right before I came here, and it was about post-nut clarity. Like, I don't believe women can have it because it's a biological thing, and it comes from the fact that men have testosterone and we don't, and so that testosterone usually leads them to making poor decisions.
Correct.
So even if they are satisfied with you and in love with you, some men that don't have sexual discipline, they're going to give into that testosterone and that, feeling that they want to do whatever with this girl. And
That's
then afterwards,
true.
they're like, damn, like,
Yeah.
I don't even like you like that.
100%.
Like,
Yeah.
you know? So yeah, I would say you can be satisfied for the rest of your life, but 8 times out of 10, because I'm going to say, I do know some men that really are good men and like, they don't cheat.
Yeah.
But, I'd say most men, they're gonna give in at least once or twice. But especially if you're together from young up until you're old, like you want to spend the rest of your life together, like I think most men are gonna mess up eventually.
Yeah.
Like it's to be expected.
That's
Okay.
so true.
Good
so
answer.
well said.
What about you? Do you think a woman can satisfy a man for the rest of his life?
Well, absolutely not. I think open relationship is a really good thing. Like you can be married
On
to
his
one,
end or on both ends?
both.
Oh, you're
Oh,
wild.
God.
You're
Yeah.
bugging. You're bugging. You're bugging.
Like, I honestly think I couldn't stay with one person, just sleep with one person for the rest of my life.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
You're crazy.
May I ask your
Same for the
zodiac
You
sign?
couldn't. Did you
No,
say you
for
couldn't?
real. I
What's your
couldn't.
zodiac
Really?
I'm Virgo.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know it's
I'm,
just me.
I'm actually very shocked with your answer, though.
Yeah, you had me at
Yes.
first. You sounding good, and then you said both. Ends.
Let me ask you this:
Wow.
do you actually want to sleep with a whole bunch of guys?
No, I think it should be agreed. Like, okay, we're together, we're married.
I just want to
whatever.
know if. Sorry, I just want to know if like that's actually like a desire of yours. Like you actually want to sleep with multiple men.
If I meet somebody with whom I click chemically, you know, and we just hit it off, like, why not?
So what if you click chemically
Really?
with like 100 guys?
I don't think it's gonna happen, to be honest.
Okay. Because I would say that most women actually don't want to have sex with a whole bunch of guys.
no.
There's a few now modern women, yes, but like most women don't want to. It takes a lot
Mm-mm.
emotionally to have sex with a guy.
Yeah, so much.
But can I ask her a question?
Sure, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, so I know a Virgo who actually has a kind of a similar opinion to you.
Mike.
And I want to know, not to be in your business too much, but like, do you believe in, if you are in a committed relationship and you guys get to that point where you're like, you know, I kind of do want to do other things, but like, I don't want to break up with you. Do you believe in like threesomes and stuff like that? So you guys are both like, you know, doing a thing, but still together? Or would you rather just do it on your own?
Honestly, I haven't been in a relationship for a long time. It's hard for me to like recollect the experience itself.
Yeah.
But you know, analyzing everything, I would say threesomes are a good thing, you know, just to spice it up. But it has to be somebody you don't know.
Really?
I haven't done a threesome, but that's what I think.
I would say any girl that asked me for a threesome, with a girl, I'd be definitely open to it, but with a guy, absolutely not.
Yeah, the Virgo she walks it both ways. Kind
Yeah.
of.
Oh, that's a train.
And-
Yeah.
With two
Yeah.
guys.
I mean, they don't both have to necessarily be sleeping with her in that. I mean, you know,
They're
effing
there.
her in that way is what she was saying. But she was like, even if one is like doing XYZ to me while the other one is,
Yeah.
He's still
you know,
there.
penetrating me,
Yeah.
like, but
So
me personally, hell no,
the train.
because I'll put my hands on you if you touch my man. But
Yeah.
but to each their own.
Right. And I think it's kind of more socially acceptable nowadays for women to ask for that type of stuff.
Mhm.
because there's
but-
more simps.
Yes, there's a lot more. I would say that too. Yeah, men nowadays aren't really being men.
Yeah.
A
And
lot of things aren't very traditional anymore, like in men and
Exactly.
women. So I think naturally, because men became less traditional, especially in America, so did women eventually.
Yeah.
Opposite
No,
way
I
around.
think it was the
I
opposite.
think it's the
around.
opposite.
Most women became untraditional, so men had to follow suit.
The reason why I feel the way I do, but not saying that I don't agree with what you're saying, because I definitely can understand why you'd say that. I think even back in the days when we idolize like older age love, like, oh, I wish I was born in this, da, da, da.
Correct.
Realistically, women were just sitting in the house, cleaning the house, cooking, cleaning, taking care of the kids, and
Yeah.
men were out making the money, etc. So
Correct.
yeah, things were more traditional in that sense, but they were also still cheating back then. There just wasn't social media for us to see it all over the place.
Agreed.
So men have always done whatever they wanted to do, but once women got the right to make their own money and do, you know, XYZ, I don't have to tolerate this stuff anymore.
Yeah.
So
And
y'all got
therefore they
more-
eventually became less traditional in
I
the sense
agree.
of like just submitting.
Yeah.
And so men were like,
correct.
well, fuck
So
it.
would you?
Exactly.
So sorry to piggyback off that. Would you say women were happier back then or happier now?
Now.
Now, okay.
I have a conflicting opinion
She's smart.
because I kind of
She's
agree
really
with
Yeah,
smart.
she's smart.
both
She's
sides.
very articulate. I'm glad.
It's like I agree with both sides that some women can be happier now and some women were probably happier back then, because me personally, like I said, marriage is very big to me. Like it's a huge deal for me. So the fact that most men don't want to get married now, like honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. When I was like dating, I would bring up marriage pretty quick because I want to know what your views on it are.
Right.
Like if you're the type of
Yeah.
man, oh, I don't believe in all that, I'm not signing up. Well, I gotta sign a paper to prove I love. It's just a turn off to me automatically. And I'm just like, yeah, I see where your head is at. So, you know, it's hard to like be the type of person that dates to marry because most people aren't dating to marry nowadays. So I think I would have been happier back then in that sense, but I couldn't have dealt with my man. Like, I know you're cheating on me and like, you treat me like crap, but I have to settle for it because you pay all the bills. Like,
Yeah.
You're stuck.
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Exactly.
So
I don't
well
know.
said.
And I'll say this. You bring up really great points, but women are actually more unhappy now than ever.
Statistically.
And
I could see that.
statistically,
Yeah, because of social media.
not just because
Well,
of
I
social
agree,
media,
social
but
but that's one big
there's a
factor.
whole-
Marriage brings security though.
That's
That's why they probably
exactly.
kind of was happy back then because they was like, oh yeah, that's my man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
My
And
husband.
you can have a happy family unit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
they
but
didn't
it-
know no better.
but
Yeah.
but
Like, now we
nowadays,
know better.
but nowadays you have sexually liberated women that think they deserve marriage. I'm sorry, but like I don't want a woman that's been ran through by the whole city of Miami.
You say that. Most
Not
men
to
say
marry.
that.
No, not to
Yeah.
marry.
A lot of men say they don't want that, and then sometimes they end up with that.
Well, I mean, if in the city of Miami, if like 9 out of 10 girls have been ran through, you have no choices.
Not even just that. Not to cut you off, but a lot of men, especially in Miami, they'll say, "Oh, I'm not dating no that da 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 da. Oh, she slept with. I can't do that." But let it be a girl that's well known in Miami, like has a
They're
lot of
gonna-
followers,
yeah.
the
So they
Instagram
don't
baddie.
care.
They don't care no
Exactly.
more.
But
They
you
don't
understand-
care
no,
more.
That's so
hold on,
true.
hold on, and that's
No,
fine. That you guys have a great point.
You
but
understand why though, right?
Because they want the status that comes with
Exactly,
being with
and
that
your
girl.
recreational
Yes.
use. I'm not actually
but
gonna marry
understand that
Mhm.
dating isn't marriage, right?
Yeah, exactly.
A guy can date a girl, have sex with her, and then that post-nut clarity comes. Look, man, I've dated some bad chicks, and after like a few days, I'm like, damn, okay, cool. Like that was cool. Like I need to get back to my shit. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, you can date the baddest chick, but like that shit doesn't really mean shit to us.
Sometimes, but men also still have emotions, and although they might be hoes and they ran through, sometimes they cater to another
Yes,
part of their life
sometimes.
that they probably were missing, and they end up falling for that.
But
girl.
sometimes,
Yeah, I've heard
Yeah,
men say
that's
like
a fact.
hoes are fun. Like I
Yeah.
fell for her because like she's
oh my
fun.
gosh, she makes me feel like a king.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and those
That's
are the
good.
same guys that you
Yeah.
actually don't want.
But those are also the guys that you end
Don't
up
marry,
divorcing,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
If you do marry
probably,
them,
yeah.
you end up
Yeah.
divorcing.
Yeah.
This is why I like your mindset, because you say that you start to vet immediately. Hey, what do you think about marriage? That question will give you an answer real quick about guys, because they're letting you know already what they think long term, right? And depending on their answers, you're like, okay, cool. I already know what it is with
Yeah,
him.
exactly. Let me ask you a question, because you said paper wise or for marriage, would you be okay with a guy doing a religious marriage and not doing it legally with a government involved?
I would rather that.
Honestly, I'm gonna have to go with no. Although I think if I'm in love enough, honestly, I'm a lover girl. I might give into it. But honestly, the reason why I think marriage is important on paper is because God forbid something happens to him and I show up in the hospital. I'm like, that's my husband. Like I get and say what happens to him. I have
Yes.
absolutely zero rights. My child has zero rights to anything. Like, you know. So I also believe in prenups though. So whatever you came in with, you know, you can sign that stuff. I'm fine with that. That's not what I'm here for.
You can get a notarized paper and do that too, though.
Notarized papers as
That's
far as
true.
like
For the religious.
Religious,
Yeah, that's true.
I
would
give
rather
all
the
I
religious
give
one.
all my rights to my wife. Blah blah blah. This is stamped, signed by both of us.
and like
Here's-
if something happens,
yeah,
to my
yeah, for
husband.
sure, yeah.
Okay, well then yeah, for sure I would consider it.
My
then.
thing is, and I love your talking points, but like I think that when you give the government so much like power over you, I hate that shit.
Yeah.
That's just me personally. I want to get married eventually, but definitely not the traditional way.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I see why a lot of people think that, like for example, people think that prenups only like support men, etc. But it really supports both parties because for people that really do know about the legal system, like if we want to get a divorce, like you know, and we go there to them and we don't have a prenup, we both then they're gonna choose everything for us, like who gets what, etc. Like, and sometimes they won't rule in the woman's favor, so it really favors both sides of the party to have a prenup. You get it? Like, but most people don't know that, so they just think like, oh no, da 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 da, or guys will be like, oh, I don't want to get married because then she's gonna take everything I have, but it doesn't always work like that.
Yeah, I think people can do a little bit more, self-educating on those topics for sure. Because it's kind of like I have family members and I've seen like even like a lot of people don't know this, but even when it comes to like child support or custody in court, they don't immediately try to push you towards that. They actually try to push you towards mediation.
Yeah.
There's like a course where they actually like tell you, hey, you have to go here before we go to the next step. And in mediation, essentially what you're doing is you're sitting down with someone and you're trying to talk it out. And usually it never happens. But yeah, they do try to give you different outlets. Any other chats, bro? Go ahead.
Yeah. So David Jones has one. He said, Basil, when was your first time buying Plan B?
When did I come to Miami the first time?
2 months ago.
Yeah, that was the first time.
All right. Damn, bro. That was fucking quick, bro.
That's my dad's name. It's funny.
Basil?
Mhm.
Really?
Well, Basil, but
Basil. Or Basil. Okay. Cool. Any other
Rico
ones?
has one. He says, I'm calling your Uncle Borat and telling him.
Very nice.
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
I definitely didn't expect those. Cool. Let's get to the second video. Shout out to the chat, man. We'll get to you guys in a second. So we'll do the second video. Ladies, thank you so much for the honesty, transparency. You guys are amazing.
Any of your guy friends want to smash?
I do think that I have some guy friends who would literally never touch me.
Could you call one of them right now?
Yeah, I'll call Trevor.
Okay,
I mean,
call Trevor, put him on speaker, and tell him that you want to come over and.
Trevor.
That's coincidence.
Hey.
Hey.
So, do you want to hang out sometime?
I don't know. Would you want to hang out?
Pause the video, bro.
sometime?
All right, real quick. I'm not gonna make you guys watch the whole thing. Ladies, do you have any male friends, and do you think that there's any of them that would never want to sleep with you?
One for sure.
One for sure.
Yeah, one for me.
One
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure that wouldn't want to sleep with you, or would want to sleep with
Wouldn't.
you.
And
Wouldn't.
he's gay?
Okay.
Pardon?
He's gay?
No.
Okay, that's cap.
No, I promise you, he's not.
All right, do you wanna
I'm
call
not
him?
his type. I'll
Would you
call him
call him?
right now.
Do it.
Really?
He knows you're on the show.
Does
Does he know you're on the show?
You don't
Mm-mm.
live.
He
bet,
doesn't do
bet.
Instagram.
Okay.
All right, yeah, for sure.
Put him on speaker, please.
Okay.
Like to be seductive, don't like play games and shit.
Like,
Yeah,
I'm
just-
drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell him you're home alone and you want him to come over.
She.
Everyone.
Yo.
Yo, what's up?
What do you?
You hear me?
Hmm?
What are you doing?
Ain't doing shit. Why was up?
I was thinking, like, what do you think about us trying to be together?
No.
I told you, like, it's not.
Oh my god.
He said nope.
Did he say no?
He said
I don't know if he
then
if he was
yeah.
thinking relationship or
No,
more
he
like
knows that
sex.
we know each other. Like
You've
this.
talked
Like,
about
he's
it before?
literally- No, literally never.
Is he
But
gay?
the thing is, no. My first boyfriend ever is actually his biological brother.
Oh,
That's why.
and
Yeah,
we're-
that's why.
we're like,
yeah,
no, not
like,
even just that, because honestly, men don't care about that. I've talked to guys and
Well,
they're
you asked
friendship
relationship.
buddies.
I think
Yeah,
most
you
men
asked-
would care
yeah,
about
'cause
that.
the way
thing
you- the way you
he
worded
sees
it-
me like a little sister, literally. Like he has other sisters, but I'm the person that he vents to about like all his relationship problems. Like I'm the only person he cries to about certain things. Like, you know, I'm literally like family to him and vice versa. So although we're not biological,
Mhm.
it's a little bit more than friendship because it seems like we're actually family. Like I consider him more my brother than most of my actual siblings. You know, I have a lot.
Okay. But that does have something to do with it.
Yeah,
though.
that does. Yeah.
What about you? Any male friends?
That
Any male friends at all? Yes or no?
I have male friends, yes.
And do you think any of them will want to sleep with you?
Wouldn't wanna?
That do you have any of them that you think wouldn't want to sleep with you?
I have a lot of new male friends. Most of them are new because I'm new to this country too. I haven't really thought about it. I have gay friends, probably them.
Okay, cool. What about you?
My one friend, the gay one, he wouldn't want to, but the rest, I'm not sure.
You're not sure. Okay. What about you? Any guy friends?
I'm not swearing for nobody.
No.
I wouldn't be around them too drunk.
Okay. Cool.
Yes,
Wow.
same with me,
That's
except
actually a
the
good answer. Wait. So you do have guy friends, all right?
Mm-hmm.
But you
I'm
know
pretty
they'll
sure
quit.
they would jump on that
They-
opportunity.
She's smart enough to know
Yeah.
not to be around them drunk.
They make certain remarks on.
Yeah. Okay. Well, again, and there are some outliers, right? Some exceptions, but most guys, they'll wait their turn.
Mhm.
So
For
thanks,
sure.
ladies. Thanks so much for being cool sport about that. Let's get to some regular chats, bro. Go ahead.
All right. Let's see. Miyazaki Lee has a question for the women. Do you think that the declining marriage rates are men silently expressing that most women are not worthy of marriage nowadays?
Good question.
No.
You don't think so?
I didn't
Okay.
even understand the question.
Do you think the declining marriage rates are men silently expressing that most women are not worthy of marriage nowadays? Do you think that men not wanting to get married and the declining marriage rates is a sign that women aren't worthy of marriage?
Basically, what he's saying is that men
yeah.
don't think that women are worth getting married to.
You
I don't
that's
think
true?
that's true.
You don't think it's true?
No.
Wait, Faith, and you said no?
No.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that. What about you?
I think it's a lot of factors. I think it's the economy. I think it's a lot of
Tilt
stuff.
the mic a little bit towards her,
Sorry.
please. Just so she can. Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's a lot of factors. I think it's the economy, like you said, like everybody's kind of different. It's more modern. Marriage is not something that's like has to happen. People live together.
Yeah, but girls still want to get married.
Yeah.
Not many.
Not me.
I
But
have
well,
a-
let
you
me
don't
not
want
say
to.
not
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
Let me not say not
Yeah.
me.
Most girls still want to get married.
But it's not like the number one thing on my mind.
Right.
Yeah, but majority of women still want to get married.
Honestly, most of the women that I know, we debate about how serious. Like I've had debates, and like she knows the friends I'm referring to. Like they'll be like, "Oh, like it's not that serious to get married before you have a child because you guys can still break up or whatever." Da da da. And I'm like, it's the principle at the end of the day. Like it matters to me, and they're older than me. They really don't care about marriage. Like a lot of women don't care anymore. But I also think that a lot of women pretend to not care about marriage just because they know that the chances of a man wanting to marry them is slim. So they pretend they don't care. They know their boyfriend doesn't want to marry them.
Thank you for that. Here's the thing. A lot of women are living lives, man, their lives aren't healthy. And secretly, I think all women know. Like, for instance, if women had to walk around with their body count on their head, they wouldn't be sleeping with as many people. That's a fact, because back in the day, there used to be a shame factor. Nowadays, you can go on TikTok. They don't care. They're encouraging that shit, right? Social media is encouraging that shit. You have rap music encouraging that shit, literally. And it just sucks, unfortunately, because long term, it does affect you negatively. And one thing I would like to talk to you about is that here's the thing that you said that most, you don't think, right, personally, that most women want to get married. But
me personally is not like a big factor, only because I have a child.
Yeah.
And the commitment to another person,
it's hard.
It is
hard.
Yeah.
Extremely hard. So to think, that's why I said I would rather a religious, rather than paper legally, because knowing that you're stuck with somebody for the rest of your life, like it's a different type of commitment. So when
that's kind of like having a kid, though. You're stuck with that person for the rest of your life.
But because I've had that experience, it made me second guess marriage.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's still commitment. I have commitment issues now.
Okay. I understand.
So,
I get it.
Yeah.
And,
so it's just my experience.
Okay. And I'll say this. Women are so powerful, right? And women are probably like, you guys have all the power, right? And I'd say this. What's her name?
Faith.
Can we focus?
Yes.
All right, cool. So I'd say this. If all women in the world today were to say, yo, we're not having sex with any more guys unless they all minimum make 100K, how many guys do you think would go out there and start working their way up to making 100K?
100%.
Everybody, right? Do you understand how powerful you guys are?
Yeah.
You guys are in that control, right? So like, in a sense, it kind of all comes down to women. So that's just food for thought right there. Because I genuinely think, and I have 4 sisters. I have no brothers. I love my sisters to death. I get a lot of heat because people think that I'm against women. I'm not. When women come on here and I tell them not to sleep around and be hoes, it's because I'm like, yo, I know what that does to you long term. Right now, it's fun, right? Long term, when no guy wants you, or when you're going through depression because that shit fucks you up emotionally.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think it's fun for anyone. I think that's a mask.
Yeah. And so like most people are trying to fill in voids, shit, me included, you know what I mean? So what I'm saying is, but if all women came together and said, we're not letting any other guys sleep around until they all reach this, man, it would happen real quick. That would happen real quick. And I'm telling you, no guy can say, but I make 99. No, bro. I'm telling you, it would happen real quick. So that's how powerful you guys are. Let's get to some of these other chats, bro. Go ahead.
Okay, Miyazaki leaves another question. Question for the women. Is it arrogant to demand an elite man to be sexually loyal? Not a single hot-blooded mammal of the male species displays sexual monogamy.
Okay, good question, actually. Let's start off with you, Ms. Faith. Go ahead.
I don't think it's arrogant. I think...
Do you think it's ignorant?
I think it can be a little bit delusional, especially if you aren't dating a man that you've already known to be sexually disciplined and have higher standards for who he's going to sleep with. But you said, what do you say?
How about this, Faith?
Loyal.
How about a guy that is monogamous, ends up working hard to make money, and then all of a sudden he doesn't want to be monogamous? There's something that happens, this happens with women too. When
you have more options.
When you get in a position of power, you're like, look, man, I've worked my ass off for this shit. I want to enjoy the fruits of my labor, right? And so through the history of time, like there's really never been like a very powerful, high value man that's been like, yeah, I'm just gonna be monogamous. I mean, there's a few exceptions, but I'm saying, yeah, I mean Russell Wilson, but
can't swear for him.
But who really knows? Who really knows, right? Like who really knows? So I mean, he's away. Like every week he's one home game, one home. Like you never know. I mean, Sierra might have that bomb.
She'd be at the away games.
Yeah, but you just never know.
It's very rare.
You can never swear for somebody.
All right, let's do another one, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let's see. Question for the ladies from Miyazaki again. Have you ever leveraged sex as a weapon in a relationship? Example: you aren't getting any sex unless you take the trash out first.
Okay, good question.
Julia, answer this question.
Julia, have you ever leveraged sex in a relationship?
No, never.
never.
Like somebody has told me that I need to do something before.
No, like you've told the guy, unless you do this, you're not gonna get any.
No, why would I?
Okay.
Never.
Okay. What about you? Have you ever used it? Absolutely. Okay. Do you think that's wise?
It's my body, but
That's a really quick way to get cheated on, though.
no, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. But it goes back to me knowing my worth, and if you feel like you have to go out and do that, then that's on you.
Yeah.
But you
yeah,
just
I will.
it. Like you just,
If I'm not happy, I'm not having sex.
I understand.
Yeah. If something makes me unhappy, anything at all,
Okay.
I'm not having sex.
So, but wouldn't you say that's selfish?
No, because why am I unhappy? Why
But-
are you making me unhappy?
And I get what you're saying because again, I have 4 sisters.
Mhm.
But let's say you're and this happens a lot in relationships. This is why men cheat. This is why men cheat. Let's be honest. And
It's
this is
true.
why people end up emotionally separating and divorces happen. I'm telling you, it happens a lot of times because of money and a lot of times because of stuff like this. Because let's say you're having a bad day at work or a bad week, man, you take that sex away from the guy, like that's our love language. And I'm speaking for majority of guys, not all guys.
Yeah, that's
That
very
is
different.
That is
too.
our love language. If you take that sex away from me, I don't feel like you want me anymore.
But like she said, that's different. If you're having a bad day
Yeah.
at work, I have to be understanding of that. But if you're doing something to make me unhappy,
Yeah.
Like
I'm
you
not gonna.
directly
I'm
to
just
him.
gonna lay
then of
there.
Okay,
course,
so
I
so give
wouldn't
me so give me an
either.
example. Give me an example of something that he would do to make you unhappy, and you would use sex against him.
Okay, so I think everything goes back to good communication, right?
Okay.
Say we're in the house, he's doing little stuff that's like just ticking me off. He knows it's getting under my skin, and then he comes over trying to have sex with me. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? But it goes back to good communication. If we have that type of good communication, if you're doing stuff to upset me, I'm like, yo, babe, I didn't like this, blah blah blah. Then we could fix it real quick. Then we can have sex.
Okay.
well, I mean, that's not really leveraging. We're saying like
Yeah, I'm
you didn't
so-
do the trash, or you have to wash
Yeah,
the
that's
dishes
what I
before you
thought,
fuck
like
me.
that
But
kind
We
of
should put it
stuff.
in different words.
Yeah,
So, like,
if you put it in different words,
Here in
yeah.
Miami, girls would probably be like, "Oh, like if you want to have sex with me, you got to get me like a bust down watch or something." Like
Yeah,
that.
That's
Yeah,
different.
for
Yeah,
sure,
that's
for
messed
sure.
up.
Leverage
That's
is
messed
bad.
up.
Yeah.
That's
That's
messed up.
sick.
But like, yeah, that one is messed up. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
different words.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you've never done it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So you've never done it.
What?
Leverage against.
Like, oh, you have to get me a bag.
Yeah, just
No, that's
everything.
fucked up.
Okay,
No.
what about
No.
you? Have you ever leveraged sex against a man? Yes or no?
No, I think everything should come from the respect. Sex has nothing to do with it. I'm really affectionate myself, so I couldn't like leverage it.
Okay, what about you? You answered it already.
I didn't really answer it, but as far as like when we are about to do it the first time, no, I think that's weird. But in a previous relationship, I did stop sleeping with him even though we lived together because I wasn't happy, and like he wasn't the kind of person that I could talk to. Like when I would bring up the way I felt about things, it would be an argument or you know, like yelling and screaming all this.
Yep.
So I'm just like, eventually, don't get me wrong, because like when I love somebody, like I probably want to do it more than they do. But
Okay.
once that feeling like disconnect is here and like I'm sad and like you don't care and I don't feel safe with you anymore, I don't want to sleep with you and I don't care if you paled up, I'll leave. Like I left. Like I just don't feel like I'm obligated to sleep with you because we're together or whatever.
Okay,
Like
and I understand that 100%. I think that men have to understand that women work differently, right? So like, women are always about their fucking emotions.
Mhm.
It's all about their feelings, and like something I've learned is like, for you, it was just a disconnect.
yeah.
Yo, he didn't care about my feelings. He didn't want to talk about it.
Mhm.
Now you don't get sex.
Yeah.
Now the guy may not look at it like that.
Yeah,
he may
no,
say,
he was like, "Oh, how you
Yeah.
you don't like me no more. You're not attracted." And that's like,
Yeah.
I'm not attracted to you because of how you treat me.
Mhm.
So if you
Mhm.
change that, then we can go back to that. But aside from that, yeah, I'm sleeping on the corner of the bed.
I
That's
get it.
that's understandable.
I get it
though.
100%,
It's
but
like the guy's
also
not doing what he's supposed to do.
But
Mhm.
also on the other side, right? You guys have to understand that guys, most men are very emotional. Like me, it's very hard for me to be emotional.
Yeah.
It's very fucking hard, bro. I try, but like I was raised differently, right? No father. My mom gave me up when I was a kid. I went to
Yeah,
foster
you have the
care,
same issue.
youth facilities. I went
Mhm.
to group homes. Eventually went to jail. So like
Yeah.
I was from a young age. Fuck emotions.
Yeah.
Emotions
Mhm.
don't give you shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So like
Exactly.
more logical. Now I'm survival mode,
Yeah,
right?
Trauma response.
And here's the thing: in survival mode, you don't care about emotions.
Mhm.
You just care about surviving, bro.
Yeah, there's no
Mhm.
time.
You
for
know,
Yeah.
and
emotions.
so most men, I would say, are kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's rare when you find that and I think emotional men are kind of weak, to be honest. And
Mhm.
and
I
that's
think
a
they're the
very
strongest.
that's a
they're
very
weak.
unpopular belief, and I get it. I get dragged for that shit all the time. But emotional men are the guys going to school shooting them up. Yeah, emotional tuned men is differently, right?
Emotionally mature
Yes.
men. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, we're
But
separating
in general,
between.
I'm saying like emotional men. I don't respect emotional men.
Oh yeah, like if you're like
I
crying and
don't.
throwing
Yeah, no.
tantrums
You
and
don't
stuff,
respect.
like even
Oh,
anger,
absolutely
that's an
not.
emotion
That's
too.
really
No,
Why?
I'm more
definitely.
logical. Like for instance, if me and a girl are dating and she's bringing up issues, I'm not even worried about her feelings. I'm like, yo, how can I solve this for you right away? Let me just solve it for you,
It's
right?
like I don't get it. I wouldn't feel that way, but because it bothers you,
Right,
I'm gonna
right.
fix it.
I'll solve
as
it
a
for
man
you,
should.
but she wants me to feel that with her, right?
Mhm.
She wants me to be like, yo, oh my God, yeah, that's I can't do that, right? And it's unfortunate because I think that brings a lot of problems in relationships. But it doesn't mean that the guy doesn't care. I would say the opposite. I would say, like, for instance, let's say, now I'm not saying that he was doing this, but let's say the guy was rushing to solve that issue, but he wasn't necessarily sitting down to talk to you about it. I would say that men and women show love differently. Does
Oh
that
yeah,
make
no.
sense?
Honestly, the issues, and I sound like an idiot even say this out loud. Most of the issues that we had when we finally lived together were issues that stem from our relationship starting 5 years before that.
Gotcha.
It just went on for so much time,
It's the
and then I was so
foundation.
young as
Yeah.
well. So, and also what you tolerate in the beginning is usually what's going to end the relationship,
Red
and I didn't
flags show
understand that.
Yes.
So by the time I finally got to that point, it's like, even if you were to try to finally do the things I've been asking you to do, I'm already tuned out. Like mentally, I've already clocked out of this relationship. Like I'm just trying to figure out how the hell I'm
I
gonna get out of
gotcha.
here.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know?
And
Yeah.
I'll say this too, is like I think a lot of and this happened to me. I speak from a personal experience. I was with someone that I really cared about, long relationship. Okay, it was 10 plus years, and the foundation was always rocky, right? And so you know, a lie was told that I could never like get over it. Even years later, mind you, the lie was in the beginning, like when we first met, but I found out a year later, and I was embarrassed by that shit. You know, even though it happened before me, it was like, yo, you should have just told me. Like, I know that dude. You know what I mean? Like, I know that dude. And here's what I say: it's like when you embarrass a man, bro, there's no fucking coming back from that. There's no coming
That's
back
what
from
I've
that.
learned.
It doesn't matter. You can learn to give the best head. You can cook him his favorite meal. That dude will not forget that shit. And
Men's egos are
that
very
goes back to what I
easily
said in the
bruised.
elevator why I'm scared to lie.
Yeah.
Because then when the truth does come out, it's
Yeah.
like it's worse than the lie.
well, if you build your house on sand, man, that storm's coming eventually, right? Do me a favor, Ron. Let's get to some other chats, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, Miyazaki League has a question for the women. What situation would cause the world's total collapse into sheer chaos? All women disappearing or all men disappearing?
Good question,
Can't say
actually.
both.
Let's start off with you. Go ahead.
Oh my God.
Which one do you think?
That's
All
a
men
hard
disappearing or all women disappearing?
Yeah, how quick would civilization end if a man disappeared quicker or a woman?
No, so
it's,
basically,
it's a really
yeah.
tough question. We can focus on the strong features of the females and males, right? For the males, it's survival. It's to build something to protect themselves, to look further. For the females, it's to care about each other, to make sure everyone's protected, loved, and provided for.
So which one?
So how do you do? From what you just said, who do you think would last?
Yeah,
longer?
which one?
Yeah,
Probably females would last longer.
What?
Just a little
You
bit.
think females will last longer?
Maybe.
Okay, that's fair.
I
Let's
want
not-
everyone to
let's-
answer.
yeah,
I want
yeah,
everyone
go
to
ahead.
answer, and then I'll go.
What about you, Faith?
Because they have less anger issues.
Okay,
Maybe
what about
that's
you,
why.
Faith?
Yeah, honestly, I was conflicted at first. I wasn't sure what I was gonna say, but the end of her answer definitely like cleared it up for me. I think that women would last longer just because men, like I said, leads back to testosterone. Too many men in one area, issues are bound to, happen much quicker, and then they take things much further. And honestly, y'all don't usually like.
I think it's the opposite.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get
women figure things out.
Let's go ahead
Men
and
don't
give you a
figure
chance
things
to
out the
answer.
same
Go
way.
ahead.
I think women, because we can focus on more things at the same time. Men
Okay.
can only focus on one, and then they just do it. And
All right.
it's
What about you?
over.
What do you think?
Okay, so I totally believe that.
And do me a favor, Anwar. Get ready to pull up that story about I know you know it, where men and women went into
Yeah,
the
the
island.
island. Yeah.
Go ahead. What do you think?
Two halves make a whole, but if I had to choose, because both people bring something to the table, honestly, men, because women are emotional.
Yeah.
Exactly,
And the fact that you said that, like, if you had to put a bunch of people in one room, men get over stuff way faster than women do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they are emotional and they get mad about the littlest things.
Yeah.
Men get over things faster when it pertains to women. But have you seen how like Miami men beef with each other and that shit goes on?
But that's
for years over
Miami.
something so
Yeah.
That's
small?
Miami.
Overall,
men.
I've seen men the stuff we get mad about, they don't get mad about.
Agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
And
could
like,
fight and still be friends.
Which is why my
afterwards.
example
But with
earlier,
friends,
the
not
topic
strangers.
before this, when I said, hey, listen, you have a problem, I just want to solve it.
Exactly.
I don't really
Mhm.
care about the emotions. I just want to solve
it's
it.
because men are logical. And like you were saying, survival. Men are going to survive. We understand we have to survive. So guess what we're gonna do? Come together and we're gonna find a solution.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the sex. Yeah, all men are gonna make that 100K. We're gonna come together and logically do it because we know we have
We'll
to
figure
do that
out.
shit.
Listen, man, you need
I'll give
50K?
it. Yeah.
Here you go, bro. I got you. You just gotta pay me back. You feel me?
Exactly.
Anwar, you want to go ahead and tell them what happened when they separated men and women into 2 different islands?
Yeah, so basically, I don't know if y'all heard of a show called Bear Grylls, but they did an experiment where they put all ladies on one island and all men on the other island, and see who could last longer. And the women couldn't even kill any animals because they thought they were cute, and they couldn't get a
That
fire
sounds like
started.
me.
They couldn't get a hierarchy in terms of who did what. Everyone wanted to do everything, so they ended up having to get rescued after like a week.
Yeah. Meanwhile, what were the men doing?
The men built shelters, had fires. They had like teams of people doing different things. They were just much more organized and therefore successful.
I believe it.
I could see that. Yeah.
I definitely.
Yeah,
believe
and
it.
thank you guys for your honest answers. But yeah, typically, like I said, men, we're just a little bit more. And listen, this is why it's so important to have both men and women, because women can do stuff men can't, and men are supposed to do and should do things that women can't. You know what I mean? Like you. That's why that it's a perfect matrimony. Like women are nurturers, they're healers, they're just loving, right? You need that. Like, I don't know, man. I've had a pretty fucking tough life, but when a woman comes into my life and shows me that love, I love that shit.
Yeah.
I love that shit. Like, I'm like, yo, I don't want to go to work. I want to stay here with you. You feel me? But I know I gotta go to work. But so it's just it's very beautiful. And I think unfortunately in today's society, we're always trying to figure out who's better. Bro, we're both great. But I think the issue is that I think, and I stand by this, I think men should be leaders. I think men should lead women. And unfortunately in today's society, I think women are trying to lead. And yeah,
they don't have a choice.
Okay, well, we'll see how that goes. Let's get to some other chats, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, Movement had a question. He said, why are girls not upfront about things and expect for guys to read their mind?
Good question, actually.
Yo.
Let's start out with Faith.
Honestly, I used to be one of those women, and I've gone to therapy and like healed that part of me. I'm not as passive aggressive as I used to be. I speak up more now, especially if I feel safe with you. Being able to like actually share my emotions, what I'm feeling, and word things better and not so emotionally. But I would say the reason why I was like that before was because I either didn't feel safe doing it with them. Like I thought they were just gonna make me feel bad about it, kind of like the ex I was telling you about. Like I can't even say like, oh, like, well, you did hurt my feelings. Oh, what about the time you did it? You know, then it's just, so I don't feel safe telling you. So I'd rather just continue to be quiet and be passive aggressive. So I'd say that's the reason why most women do that. They don't
was that
feel
his
safe.
first relationship?
No, he's just had a lot of very toxic relationships, and then similar to what he said, like didn't have a mom, his dad was in prison, you know, a lot of things like that. So yeah, we're gonna say that's the reason why.
Yeah, and that's not an excuse. I think all men should try to figure out a solution to their issues, right? I'm still figuring out mine. I'm not perfect, but yeah, shout out to you for being honest. All right, what about you? What do you think? You want to reread it, bro? Because I think she probably already forgot. She's too busy reading the chat.
No, I didn't forget.
All right, go ahead.
Why?
Answer.
Okay.
No, like I think everybody should be upfront about everything. Like I wasn't before, and it causes a lot of problems if you don't talk about like stuff, and then like after 2 years you talk about everything. Like I didn't want to tell you this and that, and then you just end up.
But
like,
can you tell
having
us the reason why women
problems.
do it?
Yeah,
Well, I think they want to protect themselves. Like they don't want to hear what they
don't want to hear the truth.
Yeah, they don't want to hear the truth from the guys.
Okay.
So I think it's
Thanks for
only
being
like
honest.
protecting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I will agree with that. I think women, you got to think about it. Most women, right, from the moment they're born, they're coddled and taken care of. Most women, not all women. Then if they have fathers, like they're called princesses, and it's like, yo, from a young age, you're mentally being told verbally too that like you're just like this princess, right? And so like, in a sense, like if guys like your ex who aren't telling you and doing what you need them to tell you, then you feel like he doesn't care.
Yeah.
Right. But in general, like I said, it's just very unfortunate because most men aren't raised like that. Like I never had my parents tell me they fucking love me. That's crazy.
Really?
When you think about it. Well, I never met my dad and my mom give me up.
Yeah.
So
have you never met your mom either?
I met my mom, but unfortunately I met her way too late. And
I'm sorry.
you know what I mean? It's not the same. And even if she was to say it, like it wouldn't feel
Yeah.
the same. But in general, I just think, like I said, most men are logical, women are very emotional. We just have to understand that about each other.
Mhm.
What do you think about that though? Why do you think women don't tell men what's on their mind?
I think it's exactly what Faith said. I have that issue. I still have that issue. I think it's the fear of my feelings not being acknowledged and dismissed.
Yes. That's awesome.
And that feeling is worse than expressing myself. So
Really?
it's like that fear will make me probably just catch an attitude, throw a
Yeah.
tantrum,
Yeah.
and not speak about it. And it's actually very toxic.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really end well. But that fear, because no offense, most men do dismiss a woman's
Oh,
feelings
yeah.
because they feel like they're too emotional,
Yeah.
they're overreacting, they're nagging, and most of the time it's because they're guilty of something
Yeah.
and they want to beat you mad.
Uh-huh.
So sometimes you just, rather just keep it in rather than to argue.
I think that you bring up a great point, and I think this is why it's so important to pick the right partner,
Mhm.
because you should know by 7-8 months like what type of partner you're dealing with, right?
Mhm.
And if that person isn't emotionally invested into you like you want him to be, then he's probably not. And I think that's what we both, men and women, do wrong, is that we try to force shit. Bro, the signs are there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're there. What about you? Why do you think that women don't tell men what's on their mind? We're not mind readers. Why do you think that they don't tell them?
I think it's the fear that they're gonna lose the man. They're trying to be more comfortable and keep them around. With
Trying
me,
to be the cool girl.
Yeah, if I don't like the guy enough, I'm gonna say whatever I think. If I like him enough, I'm gonna try to keep him next to me all the time.
That used to be me.
Yeah. Why do you think women are willing to keep a emotionless, disconnected guy around rather than just losing him?
Thinking we can change him.
Thinking you can change him. Okay. Would it also
Attachment.
insecurity?
Yeah, that too.
It comes from his childhood.
Yeah.
Definitely
Okay.
childhood trauma response.
Cool.
For
Cool.
sure.
All right, bro. Any other ones, bro? Go ahead.
Yeah, Movement has another one. He said, should single moms be treated the same as women without children?
Good question, actually.
Let's start with Janae, since you do have a kid already.
I'm definitely not biased. I definitely feel like being a single mother, I come with way more baggage than somebody that doesn't have a child. No, honestly, if I was a man, I would take it as, I would probably see it as the type of mother she is.
Yeah.
But if I was a man, I would choose somebody that doesn't have a child over somebody that does have a child.
Okay.
So,
what about you, Julia? What do you think?
I think they should be treated the same way. Like,
Okay.
doesn't matter. I don't think it matters if you have a child or no.
Really?
Realistically?
No, but like,
Or is
of
that- are
course
you in
they're
your
like
dream
more
world?
mature and
should.
they know more about life, like moms. I
Yeah.
mean, but just like in general, I think they shouldn't be treated any like
Okay.
differently.
What about you, Faith? What do you think?
I'm gonna say, because honestly, I kind of read this question two different ways. So as far as like respect wise, of course, but as far as
In the
like
dating
what
market,
Janae was saying, I would say it depends on what age you're at. Because if you're like late 30s, 40s, 50s, a woman having a child shouldn't really matter that much to you. I feel like if anything, that should be the time in your life where you're like, okay, I kind of he may have a child already too, or he wants a child, so it's not as acknowledged, But if we are really young, like Janae said, even me, I don't date men that have children. I just feel like maybe when I'm older and I need to start settling, like cutting some things off of my list of
There you go.
requirements,
Yeah.
then. But right now,
Smart.
no.
Yeah. What about you? What do you think about that?
I think it depends on the person. You gotta see if a person is a shitty person or not, has a children or not. A mom can have like 2 kids and beat them up, be rude, be toxic, and they can be a respectful, mature woman. And you can't like treat them the same way, right? You gotta count a lot of aspects.
But it's also harder for the single mothers because they had to bring a man into that life.
Yeah. And ladies, you guys are all making great points. But what I want you to understand is when it comes to the dating market, men, it's not really beneficial for a guy to go date a woman that has a kid. Now, are there some great single moms out there? Absolutely. Yes, there are. There's some great moms out there that just happen to pick a wrong guy to have a kid with. But generally, it's not a smart idea because there's a baby father, right? You might have to come to blows with this guy. Now you gotta, provide for a kid that's not yours. Right? Look, she's laughing over here. She's laughing over here because she knows now you got to provide for a kid that's not yours. And innately, men don't want to provide for kids that are not theirs. Women are a lot more emotionally available to kids that aren't theirs, Men typically don't have that emotion to give to kids that aren't theirs. Not only that, but it's just in general, like you got to deal with the family. You got to deal with that kid might not respect you. You can't discipline him the way you could your own kid. It's just a lot of different reasons. Opposed to like a guy having a kid, I feel like it's much more easier again for women to date a guy that has a kid, because for the most part, the guy should be the disciplinary, right? He should be the provider. He should be the one to provision. And I would say the downside of dating a guy that has is probably like a crazy baby mom.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think it's more like.
But when you compare the two, no, the guy definitely has a lot more to handle, and it's just not beneficial. But yeah, great answers, guys. Any other ones, bro? Go ahead.
Yeah, Miyazaki Lee. Question for the women: do you think American society would be much better off if fathers were given automatic primary custody instead of mothers?
Good
Absolutely
question.
not.
What?
Okay, so that's a
So
no. That's a no.
hard.
What about you? Yes or no? Keep it short, Julia. Yes or no?
Do you think Americans should be?
Come on, Julia. Yes or no?
No.
Okay, what about you?
Yes.
Speaking to the mic, please.
Well, I think men are the main providers, and they can look after the kids better. They can provide more. It's just I see a lot of examples of women not being able to take care of the kids. They always rely on money, on somebody to provide for the family.
That's actually a very good fact.
Yeah, damn. That's true.
And listen, guys, I understand this is a very unpopular belief, and it may not be the right one, but understand this: that even the single mothers, you guys are depending on, food stamps, government assistance, and again, not
Child
all women,
support.
not all women, child support.
Oh,
Again,
Kaz,
hey,
what?
I said not all women. Again, we're speaking in general, right?
general.
Now, most men also would be better disciplinaries, right? And there's actually a whole bunch of stats that we could pull up if you guys don't believe us, where it actually shows that kids that are raised by fathers actually grow up to be better kids, less depressive. They
Less not delinquents.
yes, they don't
They
commit as
start
many
quick
crimes. They
crimes,
don't they don't go to prison as much.
And
It's just
even daughters too.
even daughters. We're not talking about just sons. We're talking about daughters too. And even a daughter raised by a father is more likely to be less promiscuous and having sex with just any men out here, the way that women that are or girls that are raised by single mothers.
Yeah,
because here's the
they
truth.
don't have to. They're
Single-
gonna have a good father.
I think single
Yeah.
mothers worry more about being their daughter's best friend than they do actually being their mother. And, that's just my personal opinion. I see it every single day. I literally see girls come on a podcast. Oh, my mother's my best friend. Yeah, your mother should be a mother first, though.
Yeah,
and
for
then your
sure.
best friend.
So my mom is definitely both, but I think the reason.
Could you go to the
Why?
club with your mom?
Yeah, I have.
Oh man.
But not like a
Same.
club that you're thinking of, like grown, mature clubs. Like I don't take her to like booby trap and stuff.
Okay.
That's wild. But no, I think the reason why I think that I disagree with this is because I know a lot of men that were emotionally neglected by their mothers, and they have a lot of trauma from it. I mean, their fathers and have a lot of trauma from it. And even with their mothers, like, so then they get into that, what you were saying, like they don't want to show emotions. They don't know how to receive love. Like they're just very toxic typically. And it's because they did not have their mother, being that attentive to them, that loving. I think that's
Understood.
very important. But like you guys said, financially, fathers are definitely much better. But kids that grow up with, like, for example, my father, he went to prison right before I went to middle school. And although up until then he was like, all his money and I got everything I wanted, him being emotionally present for me in that point of my life was very important, and I missed it. But because, he was still a good dad and still trying his best, even though he was in prison, it definitely made a difference for me. But I think, I think
Faith,
it can be damaging.
Faith, you're a very intelligent woman. Let me ask you a question. You have a kid with a guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would you have to pick one? You can't pick two. Would you rather him be a disciplinary, very strict guy?
Mm-hmm.
Or would you rather him just be the nicest guy, but he's gonna always, tell your kid, "Oh, you're the best, I love you," blah blah blah. You can only pick one. Which one would you pick?
Like as far as being really nice, like he coddles them even when they're wrong, he just allows
Yes,
it.
yes.
Push over.
Which one would you?
Disciplinary.
Disciplinary. Why?
Because I think it's very important for this is also why I think two-parent households are very important. I think the woman should be the one that's always coddling and the man should be the disciplinary, but you definitely need a balance.
Okay.
Because I've had friends and I like I'll show my mom like, oh my God, look at how such and such grew up to be. Like they had super strict fathers, and then the mother was silenced because the father took care of everything.
Yeah.
And those girls typically grow up to be super wild. Those are the girls that go to college and they do a bunch of stuff they wouldn't have done before, But if they have a good balance in between the two. Both parents are, you know, they hear them out. They're not like the word would
And
be,
I agree. Like sometimes you have like the church effect where like they're so good, they just have like this
when they
crazy
finally
stage.
get some
But
space.
generally they turn out to be better human beings. Like I'm saying, like to society, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good point that you made there. But like I said, I think men are more disciplinary, and I would rather, even now, like both of my parents were horrible. But if I had to, if Jesus came down here, or God or Allah or whatever was like, yo, I'm gonna give you a chance to, you know, grow up with one, I'd grow up with my dad. Because I know I would have turned out to be a better person. If I'm just being dead ass honest, I probably would have never even went to jail.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
So I think overall, unfortunately, it's not enough men out here raising kids, but I think overall men do a better job of raising kids.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, by the way, you can look it up on Google. There's a whole bunch of like statistics actually supporting that.
And my dad makes points to me like that when he speaks about like his youngest son with his stepmom, with my stepmom, etc. Like he's like, you know, he needs his father in his life. Like I'm the one that's gonna make him, you know, become a man. Like if you're raising him by yourself, he's gonna be very feminine. He's probably gonna get into more things. He's gonna feel the need to be the man of the house and get into illegal things to take care of everybody. So
absolutely.
I get that.
And here's another thing. We have more single mothers now than ever. And all these women complain about, you know, these ain't shit men, these you know, bums. But who's raising these men? It's single mothers. So it all comes full circle when you really think about it, right? And that's food for thought right there. Because like I said, I just think in general, men, there's things that women are good at, but I think men generally are better. They raise their kids better than women do. I think it's unfortunate because a woman carries a kid, and that's like the first person you see when you're born. Like I think we kind of give them that, like, oh yeah, the mom's gonna love it more. But in general, I think it's not so much about loving; it's about how you're gonna raise your kid. You know what I mean? Love. I would say, and this is why I say men show their love differently. To me, you paying for my bills as a man, like a dad, you paying for my bills, you making sure no one's coming in this house fucking shit up. Yo, that's love to me.
Yeah.
You don't gotta tell me you love me every single day. I'm cool with that. I got food in the fridge. I'm good with that. You know what I mean? So I think society's just a little backwards today. Any other ones, bro? Go ahead.
Yeah, Captain has a question for the ladies. You picked the man the way he was. Why do you feel the need to change him?
Good question. Wow. Faith, let's start off with you and then we'll go to your friend. It's a really good question.
I believe both men and women usually need to change when they get into a relationship, and not just because of the relationship, but because nobody's perfect. So everybody has to work on themselves. So yeah, I may meet somebody and think they're great, but they can always be better. So can I.
Okay,
but asking instead, like, why don't you just find a better person?
Nobody's going to be perfect. Like everybody you encounter, you may think they're great, but there's always going to be a quality in somebody else you used to date that this person is now missing. And so if you're not trying to change them entirely, I don't see why that'd be an issue. Like you should want to.
But I think he's speaking as far as like negative traits, right? Like maybe he isn't emotionally available the way you want him to, but you met him that way. You met him that way. So why would you try to change him?
Honestly, this is something that I used to do, and now I realize how stupid that is. So I would say back then the reason why I did it was because I thought, because I'm really sweet, and like I'm the kind of person where you can talk to me and tell me like such and such bothers you when I do it, and I'm gonna change it. Honestly, I'll probably change it before you even mention it, just because I think, what is this person probably feeling about me? So you know, I figured with that kind of love, eventually they'll become more emotionally available, or like something like
they're
treat me better.
Romantic.
Yeah,
that's fucked up, because those people usually end up getting hurt.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you think about that? If you meet a guy the way he is, let's say he's emotionally unavailable, what you discussed earlier, why would you try to change him? You met him like that.
I think that's like the immature you. Again, like she said, when you're younger, you see potential. Somebody that happened to me multiple times. You see potential. You see what they can be. You see their good traits, and you be like, oh, well, this person does this, but he does this, and you kind of try to put the red flags back.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like you said, when you meet a person, usually red flags show up in the first 2 dates.
Yeah.
But
not always.
Always,
no,
always.
No, but not always.
Some men are really good
manipulators.
manipulators.
It takes like a year to find
it might,
the red flags.
They will show a little bit of it.
No,
somebody is who they are.
You'll find it.
Yeah, but sometimes
is
not
who they
even
are.
a little for a year.
Somebody is who they are. You might not think it's something big when you just met them, but in a couple months.
But you
it might
also got to
show.
understand you've only had one boyfriend. How
Yes.
much experience do you have?
Like you don't even
Yeah,
know what
but I
you
have
didn't
good
know what to look
experience.
for.
I have all
Well,
the
what I'm s-
experience. My boyfriend was every boyfriend in one person.
No, you can't
No,
say
but you
that.
didn't.
No, he
You
was.
can't
He
sit here.
changed.
You can't
Every-
sit here and say your
What?
boyfriend was.
Every 1 month he was a different person. So I met many guys during the relationship.
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna go back and
Yeah.
forth with you on that. It's very illogical. There's no way that your guy was every single guy.
No, he wasn't every, but he was a lot of guys. In
Well,
one
what I'm
person.
saying is like if you only try one dish at a restaurant, how can you sit here and say that all of them are the same, right?
Yeah, I can.
Like you didn't know
And
what to
I'm not
pick
telling-
out because this was your first boyfriend.
Yeah,
You've only had
exactly.
one boyfriend, which
So
is a
you
good
couldn't
thing.
pick it out. Yeah,
Exactly.
you couldn't pick it out from the beginning. Like she probably. I'm not saying like
Yeah.
you date around, but I'm saying.
And here's the thing: where's
Yeah.
your boyfriend from?
Kosovo.
He's from where?
Albania.
Okay,
Albania,
see, like
Kosovo.
also like the type of men that they're seeing, they're seeing these urban Miami City
Yeah.
men. They're a whole different breed. Okay,
Yeah.
if you start dating here in Miami, you'd probably fly back to your country. To be honest.
No, but
Um,
Albania is different. It's far from Finland.
Cool. What about you? What do you think about that?
Well, back then I wasn't that selective as what I am nowadays. I wouldn't pick a person I would want to change. That's why I observe a person, see what traits, go well with me, which ones don't go well with me, and that's why I'm probably single.
Yeah, and I would say this. I think people actually spend more time preparing for like a job interview, than they do like the person they're about to potentially date.
Yeah,
Exactly.
girls
Yeah.
and guys both don't vet.
Both
no
men
one
and
else.
women. Like when you go to a very nice job that you want to get, you do your research. You dress nice. You know what questions they may potentially ask. You know what questions you want to ask. You're looking at see how much money you may make from this job. When we go into a relationship, it's just like, okay, cool, he's cute. Boom, let's see what happens. Right?
Exactly.
And so it's unfortunate, but we live and learn, and hopefully we're learning.
Can I say one little thing
Yeah, go
to
ahead.
that? Me and her had a conversation on our way here, and I was just telling her how important it is to date,
Yeah.
and not to jump in a relationship. Me and her were lover girls. We meet somebody, we like them. It's all
Everybody
about
else is
them.
cut
Yeah,
off.
Yeah.
same
Everybody
with
gets
me.
cut
About
off,
me.
but that's how you get into toxic situations
Yeah.
because of the potential that you see in that one person. You don't give yourself a chance to meet other people. You don't get a chance to even evolve
Yeah.
because when you meet different people, you learn more about yourself. You learn more about what you like and what you don't like.
Yeah.
And that's why dating is so important.
Yeah, and I agree with that
Mhm.
100%. I think dating without having sex with everybody is a really good thing.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, nowadays
Mhm.
people date and just have sex really quick,
Mhm.
right? And here's the thing, ladies: you give a guy sex really quick, man, your value goes down real quick in his eyes,
Mhm.
right?
That's a fact.
But that's a really good point right there.
Mhm.
Really, really good point. Any other questions, bro? Go ahead.
Let's see. Movement said, why do women not like to be compared to men, but quickly tell a man how he should be?
Good question, actually. Let's start off with you. Go ahead.
All right. So why do women like to be quick?
Why do women
Or
like to
let's
be
just
told-
simplify it. Why do women tell a man how he should be?
I don't think anybody should tell somebody how they should be. Somebody is who they are.
Or how men should be in general? Like,
We
a
see
real
this
man
every
does
day.
this.
Yes,
da-da-da-da.
we see this every day in
Mhm.
society, social media, in real life, within your friend groups, your group
Mhm.
chats.
Mhm.
We see it every single day. Women telling men how they should be, how they should act. You're not man enough. Act like a man. Take it like a man. Why is it that women do that?
I just think we go off of society and what we think is the norm and what we like. But I don't think you could change anybody. People are who they are.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think like anyone can.
I know you're gonna say it's a general statement, but
Yeah.
I honestly,
But socially, what I'm saying is,
Mhm.
it's not okay for men typically to do that to women.
But
Right.
I don't think anybody
Like
should
men
tell
get shamed.
anyone.
My TikTok is crazy. I started my
Mhm.
TikTok 4 weeks ago. My shit is crazy. Like the reels we get from these, from these shows,
Mhm.
where I'm basically just telling the woman, like, listen, fine, go ahead, be liberated, have
Yeah.
your hot girl summer, go
Mhm.
ahead, have sex as much as you want, but understand, to men like me,
Your
you're
value went
useless.
down, yeah.
You're
Mhm.
useless. I don't want you. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you're still a good person, but you're trash to me as far as like a companion.
Yeah.
Boy, I get fucking dragged on TikTok. I mean, we have like even like people tag like Drew Buffalo, you know what I mean? Like all these people.
But I think it's the expectations for women to be like this good girl is a type of society thing. Like to expect a man to be a man and expect a woman to be good is like a thing. And when it's not going that way, both opposite sex get mad.
No, we're saying like men are shamed for
Men are
women.
shamed.
Women, it's like encouraged.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. If you tell a woman how to be, it's like,
absolutely.
What to
I
be.
think it's only fair if you're really emotionally involved with the person.
Here's the
If you're
thing.
not, you shouldn't care.
I've had situations where I was talking to a girl and I told her, listen, I don't approve of your male friends. I don't approve of these trips with your girls. Like, I understand I have a responsibility to provide for you. I'll protect you, et cetera, et cetera. Boy, oh, he's insecure. Oh my God, blah, 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 bro. Small dick energy is giving me. You know what I mean? Now, but women can sit here and say, listen, man, like, I think you should be monogamous. You should be respectful.
Don't
you
be
should,
liking girls' pictures on
don't,
Instagram.
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't flirt with anybody. I need you to provide this for me, this and this, right? And so it's not fair for men and women in that aspect. So, Faith, what do you think about that?
I'm gonna say, I don't mind being compared to men because I do think that men and women are very different. But I'm gonna say the reason why I have told men how they should be is because I have a really good father that told me how a man should treat me. And so if you're not following those lines, you know, dating wise, especially, I'm like, as a man, you should XYZ. For example, the 50-50 conversation. I was raised, my family is Caribbean, so I was raised that a man takes care of the house, the man is a provider, etc. But the woman respects him, etc. Like there's gender roles. I believe in those. So yeah, if a man isn't following that, or he's like, oh, you should pay half the bills, then I'm be like, as a man, you shouldn't want me to pay half the bills. That's what my father taught me.
Like that?
My ex would bring that up during some arguments. Like he'll be like, oh, well, start helping me with And I'm just like, I'd rather just go back to Florida. Like I don't even want to be here for real at this point. So
if your man is making you pay half the bills, you have a roommate.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, you're my roommate, and therefore I'm single, and I can do what I want to do.
Hey, you know what's funny, Faith? For me, who's like really big on finance and stuff like that, me and my ex went 50-50. But the thing is,
did you respect him?
Did you respect him?
And listen, that's fine. That's
even
great,
though,
but it's not sustainable long term. It's just
no. But
not.
listen. So we went 50-50, but he literally spoiled me. You know what I'm saying? So me paying my little 50 compared to everything else I got was like,
But how about this? How about he pays 100 and you spoil yourself?
Yeah, but
I mean, it's the same thing, right? But essentially what and I've always been like this because again, I get dragged a lot online because I tell women that I believe in gender roles like she does. I believe traditional, right? But I also believe that men should be providers, protectors, and should provision. So it's not like I'm like, yo, I think you should be like this, but I get to do whatever I want. I just think that long term it's not sustainable and it's not conducive to a healthy relationship because again, you may be the one exception, but normally women don't want to have to pay for that stuff. Like there's this motivational speaker named Eric Thomas, one of my favorites, right? And he talks about how, you know, he was always out on the road working and he would come home sometimes. His wife didn't really want to be intimate with him. Well, she was a mother, she was cooking, she was cleaning, and she was helping with some of the bills. So he said that as soon as he realized this, he started taking away some of the responsibilities. Like he started paying all the bills. They hired a maid. Now she still had responsibilities, but it wasn't much. Now when he came home, she was in lingerie. You give your woman an opportunity to now be feminine and be submissive. Now when you're forcing a woman, or not forcing, let me change that word, when you're making a woman, or just in general maybe giving her the opportunity to pay half the bills, you're not in your feminine state all the way. There's a part of you that knows now, hey, I'm responsible for my half, right? And again, that may work for you, but for most women,
it was voluntary though.
Right? But my question to you, Janae, so let's say he didn't do what he did, right? And so he couldn't afford to get you those nice things. He couldn't afford to get you those nice things. Would you still be okay with going 50-50 if he was going like, you know, he was still doing that. Like he would take you on dates and get you flowers, but not like the luxurious gifts.
No. Yeah. But you know that.
Yeah.
And that's cool. And that's a good question as well. But again, it goes back to the fact that, you know, for me, I would rather pay for all your bills. Cool. You spoil yourself. You spoil us. That's cool. But I'm going to pay for all your bills because I know that having you pay for half of it is still a large responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it works for some people, but for me, I just rather cut that off.
And I know as a real man, like I feel like you should want to do that for your woman,
Yeah.
provide and protect.
Yeah, I want to do that, man. I want my woman to be able to just relax. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, just be there for me when I need you, and like, take care of home.
Mhm.
All right, let's get to some other questions, man.
You want to watch the video or?
Oh no, bro, because it's been a great panel, man. The ladies have been amazing. Let's take a few more chats and we'll close it off. Go
All
ahead.
right, y'all ready for this one? Question for the entire panel: do they think the African American community is being a or do they think the African American community is a matriarchy, and is that a major reason why it is in such disarray?
Good question.
I don't understand the question.
Bring it down.
So
why
basically,
why are the questions so hard? today?
Our
I don't
viewers
understand
are
any of them.
pretty
intelligent.
Yeah, so matriarchy is led by women.
So do you think the African American community is a matriarchy led by women, and do you think that is a major reason why it is in such disarray?
That is a really good question. Actually, let's skip Julia on this because Julia's not even from here. Let's go to you. What do you think?
I agree. I think in the African American community, women are picking up a lot of the slack.
Yeah.
And that, like you said, the whole respect thing, I don't have respect for a lot of men.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
I'm so happy.
Is
right
it the way
now.
you were raised? You were raised by a single mother?
Yeah, I was.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
And
right
I'm also
now.
very Caribbean.
Yeah.
Like she is. Like,
Yep.
so certain things is just like, like the fact that I have to, like you said, work so hard. The fact that I be busting my ass.
Yeah.
Like,
and you still got to be a mother at the end of the
Exactly.
day.
and I have to be a mother.
Yep.
Even in the dating world. That's why when I say baggage is more than just, my child. Like,
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
fact that I know I'm a strong woman.
I
Exactly.
know.
So I'm a strong woman coming to another person. If you're not stronger than
Oh
me,
yeah.
I'm gonna little boy
And
you.
guess what?
Mhm.
Most men aren't.
Yeah.
They're not.
Most men aren't.
They're not. And it's hard dating.
Yeah.
Being as strong as I am. Like I bring a lot to the table. I have a house, I have
Yeah.
a car, I have all these stuff. Like, what are you gonna do
But-
for me?
And that's
Yeah.
great.
Mhm.
And like kudos to you. But
Mhm.
like, yo, that shit gets draining. You know what I
It
mean?
is.
It gets draining. And so like the guy, like let's say a guy really comes into your life and he's like, yo, I
Mhm.
really like this girl. But man,
Mhm.
you're holding it down. He has to match your energy or be above. And
Mhm.
again, most men can't do that.
Exactly.
Most men cannot
it's
do
hard
that.
on both ends.
What do you think about that though? That question. Matriarchy? Do you think that's why it is the way it is?
Yeah, for sure. I think women having to be both the mother and the father, it definitely takes away from them getting to just be a mother to the child. So then the child goes up more trauma now as well. But aside from that, I'd say that it's definitely ruining the African American community.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most African Americans are raised by a single mother, and that
Yeah.
breeds I'm an independent woman because that's how the mother was raised.
I could talk
So
to
just
men
keeps
any
going
kind of
and
way.
exactly.
And-
And independent woman means you're masculine. So like you just
And no
said,
offense to
Not
you,
even
but like I'm not gonna ask you that question just because I know like your culture is a little bit different. But I'll say this: I was reading a book called "The War on Black Men," and in this book, it was talking about how they break. Man, look it up. The War on Black Men, and it talks about how like if you attack the man, which they've done for years and years and years. If I'm not mistaken, 71% of all prisoners in the United States are African American men.
Mhm.
That's a fucking large amount of
Mhm.
people, considering the fact that you guys are minorities,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So the minority, but the majority at the same time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then what happens is the women have to step up,
Mhm.
but the African American women are upset with the men because now you put yourself in this situation. You left me all alone. Now I gotta fight for myself, my kid, and I gotta fight the world and the white guy. And I mean, it's the
Mhm.
system, et cetera, et cetera. It all comes down to that, and it's unfortunate because I did a lot of research into this because, like, I don't know, I just like reading shit like that. You know what I mean? Because here's the thing: I always say, first, man, they're coming for the African American community. Then after that is us. We're basically hand in hand. You know what I mean? So, I read random shit like that, but just in general, I think it all comes full circle. And when you leave women to lead, I've always said it. He says it all the time. Women aren't natural born leaders. Are there some exceptions? Yes, absolutely. I mean, you look at history. There's been some
Cleopatra.
great women, but even Cleopatra, when Augustine came through, bro, that was done. What I'm saying is, it's just not natural, right? And so then, like I said earlier, what happens? You end up seeing all these very emotional, weak men that then start to date women like you guys, and you guys are like, yo, you're not a man. Well,
And
guess
they
who raised
resent you.
Yeah.
right? And then you resent each other, and they're coming from single mother homes 9 times out of 10, right? So it's all full circle. All right, cool. Ladies, real quick, I want to go ahead and get your thoughts on the show and then a question that you want to ask us. What are your thoughts on the show today?
I had a lot of fun. Honestly, I think from what I've seen on TikTok, and I was just talking to her about this in the car as well, like I usually see like the men being very disrespectful to the women and stuff like that. So I commend you guys for being super respectful and asking great questions, seeing both sides.
You understand why the clips are that way? It's usually women that
sometimes,
be on some bullshit.
Yeah, some women I've seen like they'll say like really wild things, you know, and then the man will react. But then I've also seen some men like kind of like just start bashing.
This is by far one of the most intelligent panels we've had. Let's just put it like that, and let's put it in some of the girls that have come on this panel are
a lot.
Yeah, there are a lot. Okay, what about you? Thoughts on the show? Oh, I'm sorry. Do you have any question you want to ask us?
No.
No? Okay. Thoughts on the show and a question you may want to ask
I
us.
really enjoyed myself. Thank you for having me. What I have realized that I'm really unfamiliar with the dating world in Miami and a lot of different family situations, bringing up situations in America, because I come from a different culture and I see everything from a different perspective.
Yeah.
But it opened my eyes, you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this is and I'll say this before you go, because like in the beginning of the show, I was like, oh, she's triggered, she's about to get mad. But I'm glad that we were able to have like a very intelligent conversation with each other. We differed in almost every topic, but yeah, like I've always said this to people that come here, I learn more from the people that I don't agree with. So I like that. And just in general, like I said, we're very respectful. Most of the people that come through here are very respectful. But thoughts on the show and any questions you may want to ask us, go ahead.
I had fun. You did open my eyes with the disagreements and stuff like that. I would definitely do this again.
Cool. Shout out to you. You have a question for us? No? Okay, cool. What about you, Julie? Thoughts on the show?
Yeah, and I just understood maybe why I disagree with so many things, because maybe European like guys are so different than the guys here in Miami, as you say, that I haven't like met too many here. So that's why I think that everybody's so like different, as you say. So that's what I realized.
Yeah, you're not missing out on much.
Yeah, but that's good. And thank you so much for having me again. It was so much fun. Thank you.
You're amazing. Thank you so much. Ladies, it's been amazing chat. You guys have been amazing as well. Catch us tomorrow. I'm sorry, on Monday, where our show is going to be at 7:30 for the daytime show. Thanks again, ladies, for being amazing. We'll catch you guys on Monday.
Thanks.